Hello and welcome to Dicebreakers, a D&D podcast and stream with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex, your host and DM, and with me are Greg, Purdy, Mark, and Simon, my wonderful players. How is everybody doing today?
Oh, so good. So many
Great.
questions.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Absolutely.
So, we're going to do... Basically, the way that this campaign starts is I tell everybody except for one person to leave. So, I mean, there's yeah, that's how it's going.
I think you should keep the most important person here first.
I think I'll go from oldest to youngest.
I need to go.
Yeah, I think you should get the worst over quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be obvious why we're doing it this way around, and we're going to be starting with my father, Mark. So basically, I'm going to be telling everybody else to leave, and they're all just going to have to sit and waiting. It shouldn't be too long, you guys. Simon, you'll be waiting the longest, maybe around 10 to 15 minutes. But
I guess I'll start a Hearthstone game.
Exactly. Just do something else for a little bit, and just make sure you can see the Discord chat, please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a shower real quick.
I'm gonna go get some food.
Okay.
Bye.
But it's gonna go for a
fun,
week.
guys.
Bye.
I'll see you all later. Oh,
Okay. So just as we do this, there's a little bit of arranging I need to do for the other panel because there's only two of us. That transition over to that's not right. You're not the DM. You're not the DM. This isn't on stream. Just for those of the podcast and people who have no idea what's going on. Basically, I have a second screen where I can see what's about to show up on the screen, and currently, it was showing that he was the DM, which is correct as I screamed. Listen, there's a little bit of... and quickly, let me just... that one. There we go, we can transition. And you guys in the stream will see a little bit of stuff. There you go. You'll enjoy that as well, Dad, because I made that for you.
Ah. Oh my goodness.
So...
I like that.
Are you ready? There's a little bit of... a little bit of interest. It's a bright, hot morning in the city of Marrow, the major port for Demarth. There are large ships moving in and out of the main docks, but we are slightly further north in a much calmer alcove. Small fishing boats bob up and down in the square of water that connects to the sea, surrounded by small, square, whitewashed buildings, very simple in design. Most of these buildings have tables outside, with very few patrons eating their breakfast, listening to the faint splashing of the water against the walls. We look to one building in particular, with a small wooden sign with blue writing on its front. The words La Mer are barely visible, worn away by time and presumably barely necessary these days. There is only one figure sitting at the table outside, the sole employee of La Mer and resident of the upper flat, currently eating his breakfast and getting ready for the boss to tell him what he needs to be doing today. He has jet black skin with a crazed orange pattern visible on his neck and hands. His orange hair flickers gently in the breeze as his yellow eyes fixate on any movement around the square, as if he is watching for someone. His leather jacket is wrapped around the chair as he leans over his breakfast. This is Flint. His stern face suddenly turns to surprise, and a jet of fire spurts through his hair as he hears a voice from his right. His bemused look probably caused by not quite understanding how a figure snuck up on him whilst he was looking so closely at everyone who passed. The voice comes from a figure leaning back in a chair to the right. The figure must be around 6 foot tall with deep grey skin, green eyes, a low fade on the sides of his white hair with a fringe up and back like a wave. He has shaped stubble on his long face with sharp cheekbones and a pointed chin. He wears a long flowing brown overcoat over a green waistcoat and black shirt with black trousers and smart brown shoes. It must be exhausting constantly looking over your shoulder, Flint.
Excuse me? Do you know me?
Don't worry. Not here to harm you. I know you're currently in the habit of looking over your shoulder, but that comes with killing a governor, eh? Or at least, if people think that's happened. They call me the mediator. I'm in the business of taking jobs and then finding the right people for the job. Sometimes I deal with money, but I find that money is too available. I can't guarantee that someone else will pay you more to betray me. So more often than not, I'll work with information. then I can guarantee I'm the one with control.
My son, I don't think I am who you think I am.
I
just
know
a
far
humble-
more about you, you believe.
I'm just a cook here. I make meals. I practice my flute. I don't know what you mean.
Flint, I want to stop with the drama. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to harm you. I know where you came from. I know what people think you did, and I know what you lost, and I know who you're looking for. Let me get to business. You don't need any kind of committed conversation here. Just words. I have a job that needs doing in Carmanthia. I won't go into the details for now, but like I said, I have information that I think will encourage you to help me. The information is about two things. One, the current location of the Black Knight, and what he's doing, and why currently that's affecting your reputation on a large scale. And two, your heritage. I know you don't know what you are or where you came from. These questions I can give you answers to. Answers that will unlock who you're meant to be. You have a destiny, a destiny that was lost many years ago when you arrived on this plane. I want to stress, there is no contract for this job and no commitment. The rules are upon completion you will get the information that I have promised.
Well, my goodness.
If you're interested,
Again.
if you're interested, 27 days from now, I'll be in the Waterwell in Corzia in the late evening. It's in West Circle. I'll give you a map. Look for a table with a rose on it and sit and wait. And finally, as a gesture of good faith, to try and convince you that I do truly come from a good place, here is 50 gold for the travel. I know renting a carriage won't be cheap, so hopefully this will help.
That's kind, but I won't need that much. I mean, surely there are others who deserve it more.
Maybe. And if you don't use it all, maybe you can hand it back to me at the other end. But I do have places to be and people to talk to, so I will bid farewell.
Before you go, who are you? What's your name?
As I said, they call me the Mediator.
Then I shall call you the Mediator.
I look forward to seeing you again, Flint. 27 days. Hopefully you make the right decision.
I shall think upon it, my son.
And then he leaves.
Gosh. My heritage. Gosh. In that case, I shall sit back at my table, in my chair with my bowl of soup, and ruminate while eating.
Yes. And that's when the scene fades away back into the sea. End scene. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
And
you
I'm going to
very
get Purdy to pop in, and then you can...
much. I will leave. I will talk to you soon.
Yes. Ooh, that's going to look weird on stream. It's all me. Let me quickly just pop to there. Hi.
Hey!
Hello. Oh, we go back to... So I just need to quickly change something up here. We need to show your nameplate in the people can't see. And then we'll also need to hide. Sorry, there's just a couple things to set up that comes with. There we go. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We go straight into it. It's been a hard shift in the tavern, but that's normal, as every day is a slog of work and a little sleep. Having just taken the last tankard of your shift back to the kitchens, you decide to go to what is effectively your break room, but more of a lounge from before the houses were houses, before everything was converted to a tavern. The walls are worn and bleak, the surface is in desperate need of varnish, but it's better than most places in Limgrim, as it's just been redone. As with most places in Veluna, the old capital of Carmanthia, Limgrim is dilapidated and run down, but what else would you expect of a place that's had a catastrophe as bad as Veluna did? But something is a little different today in the break room. Usually you just walk over to the dilapidated couch and sit down, attempting to rest your legs for 10 seconds, maybe even practice some magic. But today, someone is there. Sitting in the armchair is a man, 6 foot tall or so, with deep grey skin, green eyes, a low fade on the side of his white hair, with a fringe up and back like a wave. He has shaped stubble on his long face with sharp cheekbones and a pointed chin. He wears a long, flowing brown overcoat over a green waistcoat and black shirt, with black trousers and smart brown shoes. He speaks. Don't worry. No, it's a surprise. I'm not here for any nefarious reasons. I'm here to make you an offer.
An offer of what?
Let me explain. They call me the mediator. I'm in the business of making things happen. Somebody has employed me for a job, and I think you're a prime candidate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been working especially hard to make money to leave Veluna, no? For your family?
Well, yeah. I don't really
What if I told you I could give you money, but more than that, an opportunity? An opportunity for you to start anew and, in a few months, move your family away from this hell to somewhere much, much better. Little Tommy would never have to go starving again, and none of the family would ever have to worry about money for lifetimes to come. But, for me to give you these details, I need something from you. I won't tell you the intricates right now. I'll save that for later. I will, however, tell you that if you are interested, I need you in Corzia in 5 days. There's an inn called the Waterwell. I'll give you a map. It shouldn't be too hard to find. Look for a table with a rose on it. Sit. Wait. Also, I appreciate it may be difficult for you to get there if you decide, and difficult for you to trust me, so here is 40 gold. Should cover expenses to get there and a little more. Buy a nice dinner.
How do you know I'm not just gonna go and give this to my family now and not turn up?
I don't. I work with information because money is tempting. Money is difficult to work with. 40 gold now may seem like a fortune, but that is minimal compared to what you could potentially get. And I know you're not interested in being a millionaire, but you could spread the wealth between family, friends, fix up a city. It's an opportunity. And I truly believe, with what I do know about you, you'll take the good option for yourself. You'll take the option that is preferable for me, and, though you may not see it straight away, preferable for you.
Anything that makes everyone's life easier, better. Anything than this place.
Like I said, 5 days. The Waterwell. Here's a map.
I'll be there.
It'll be easy to find. I've marked the map up. I hope I do see you.
Oh, you will. You will. Just wait till I tell everyone.
Maybe keep it to yourself for now.
Oh. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
And he stands up, walks over to the front door, turns around and says, I'm looking forward to our future together. And walks through.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you it would be short and sweet. That was without description. I know with the last one I did the description integrated. You don't know with the character, but just before we part and have someone else come in, give a little description of what Elsie. There's a image down below which you may see on stream. Ready made, but
So yeah, she's taller. She's 5'5". Which is a new height I will never know. She's only 19 years old. Long brown hair. She always wears it in a braid though because it's so much easier that way. She kind of, due to where she's grown up, she's got like this gothic attire. Even though it fits with her personality, like at all, does not fit. She wears this really nice fitted green long sleeve top with like ruffles at the shoulders, this gothic style skirt that is like short at the front, long at the back, layers, corseted around the middle. Keep her legs warm. She wears like stockings that are held up with like garter and everything. And then she has these really cool, and I generally want them myself, chunky, platformed heels that are like strappy, but they've got like a. They remind me of a woman's dolly shoe, but they're platformed heels. I got the image for that off of Google, and I genuinely want a pair myself. I absolutely love them.
I think that's all we need from you. I know it's
Awesome.
it's like a bait, but we'll get to it.
I don't mind. I'm gonna go back to you.
Just before you leave, let me swap over back to this view. There you go. Let me message Greg.
What's up?
Please.
Have fun.
Oh, we will. Lots of fun. Hello, my good friend.
Hi.
Let me off around. We need to...
I'm very pogged up, Alex.
You should be. You should be. Oh. Let's just edit. Stream.
Yeah, put my nameplate in there, please.
Yeah, I don't think you're Purdy.
No. Well, maybe in a different life.
Maybe in a different life. I'm not even gonna go there. You know, like
We're
there's
too
some
similar.
things.
There needs to be a reality where the wires have gotten tangled at some point.
Don't even want to know, to be honest.
I don't know either, Alex.
And then
I am filled with anxious excitement.
You should be.
I just need to hear you speak in your DM words towards me, and that'll make it better.
There we go.
May the cat on a dragon give me strength.
So, are you ready?
So,
You ready? You ready?
no, not at all.
It's late evening, and Etch is doing whatever he usually does in the evening. There is a knock at the door, which is quite unusual for this time of night. Etch walks over, I would assume, and opens the door, and standing there is a figure. I didn't put a thing there. There it is. Maybe 6 foot tall, deep grey skin, green eyes, and a low fade on the sides of his white hair with a fringe up and back like a wave. He has shaped stubble on his long face with sharp cheekbones and a pointed chin. He wears a long, flowing brown overcoat over a green waistcoat and black shirt with black trousers and smart, brown shoes. He speaks, "Ah, Etch, it's so good to finally meet you. My name is the Mediator. You don't know me, but I think you'll be interested to make my acquaintance. Would you mind if I came in?"
Oh yeah, sure. Take a seat right in the front here.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I have places to be and people to talk to. I know you have no reason to trust me, but we both have something the other wants, and I suggest a trade of services. I need a man for a job, and you are that man. I know money won't mean too much to you, but what I can provide instead is information. I have 2 things that you want. Number 1, I know that Tal is alive. You last saw him when he fled into the upper sections of Veluna, this city, into dangerous gas, and you assumed killed him or transformed him. This is false. I know where he is right now, and I do truly think you'll be interested. Second, I found some odd scraps of a diary to do with your father's experiments. I assume you'd want those. So, you help me, I'll tell you and give you all of that. And as a gesture of goodwill, and because I assume you'll need a little evidence to believe me, I will give you the first couple pages of the diary I was speaking. Don't worry, the job I'm talking about, well, this entire conversation is non-committal. You don't want to do this, you get these pages for free, and we never see each other again. But I do hope you take me up on my offer. I'll be in the Waterwell in Corzia in 5 days, in the late evening. I'll give you a map, it shouldn't be too hard to find. Look for a table with a rose on it, sit, and wait. And he pulls out from his pocket, he pulls out a rather tattered looking page, which I am going to give to you now. I'm actually going to send to you I'm going to send it to you on Discord. Ooh.
Ooh.
I'll send it to you personally. In there. Nope. Yep. I'll have to pause with me. That one.
I am pausing with you.
I know.
Are you reading my mind?
What do you mean? Am I
'Cause
reading your mind?
There are breaks in each of the phrases where I have a question, and then before I can ask it, you start answering it.
Maybe not. This
It's
is something.
real
So I'm going to send this to you, and you're more than welcome to, of course, read it on stream because I think you'll find it very interesting.
Oh, I absolutely will.
So he hands you a couple pages, folded up together, looking a little scrappy.
Okay.
Which the stream cannot see, but I properly made to look like actual pages and stuff, just because I know Greg likes.
They're very fancy.
He just sits back and waits as you read them.
I don't look at him. I just take a step back, start reading the paper, and don't say anything to him. As far as Crystal Experiments Diary written by Kellen Short Elf.
The stream, make sure you read it clearly.
As far as I understand, Rick Vyas has found some sort of crystal in the caves under the castle. He has employed me to keep notes on the experiments he performs and has sworn me to secrecy. I'm not sure what the experiments will outline, but I am interested to see the progress of science and magic and see what the future holds for Veluna. Experiment 1, we are in Rick Vyas' lab in the castle and he is holding a rough crystal. He says they found it under the castle and that it seems to contain some sort of magical properties that he can't quite understand. He's attempting to cast ritualistic magic on the crystal. I cannot explain what magic, as I am not a scholar of magic myself, but it seems to be making the crystal vibrate slightly, and Rick Vyas seems happy with this progress. This seems to be all he planned for today, and he is storing the crystal in a secure location unknown to me. Once again, it's stressing how important it is that I keep this secret. Experiment number 2. Today we are back in the lab and Rick Vyas seems excited. It seems he has done some research into pre-existing magic and wants to attempt more magic to see if we can understand the crystal anymore. He is doing more rituals, but this time the crystal doesn't seem to be reacting. I'm not sure what the difference is, but it isn't working. After 3 hours of trying and no success, Rick Vyas is giving up and seems frustrated. I do not think we are any closer to working out what this crystal can do. Experiment number 3. It's been a few weeks since the last experiment. It seems Rick Vyas has been doing more research to prepare for another attempt. We're in the lab again, except this time he has 5 crystals. I guess they found more in the caverns. He is performing some ritualistic magic again, and interestingly, they seem to be reacting and almost connecting. There's a slight crackle between the crystals, like a charge of electricity, but it's so weak I can't tell if it's pertinent to these experiments. Rick Vyas seems frustrated and keeps going on about how he needs more power and that the environment is wrong. I'm not sure what he worked out whilst he was researching, but he is getting very passionate. Experiment number 4. It's only been a couple days, but this time we are down in the caves. There's a gigantic cavern, and Rick Vyas has set up a rudimentary lab down here, with the tools he needs and a desk. He is performing the same magic as before, and there seems to be more of an electric connection this time. It's still weak, nothing powerful. Rick Vyas is very angry, I'm not sure why. He's slamming his hands on the desk. Something interesting just happened, I'm not quite sure what caused it. Whilst Rick Vyas was slamming his hand into the desk in frustration, he accidentally hit one of the crystals and cut his hand. The blood from his hand.
That's the end of the second page. I'm sure you look up. Call it incentive. I do have the rest.
Consider me interested.
I had hoped you'd say that. Like I said, 5 days, the water well.
Right.
And I do wish to stress there is no commitment to this job. If you get there and you don't like what I offer you further into this, welcome to leave. The terms are simple. Information for a job.
Alright.
And with that, he gets up
for this.
and walks to the door and just closes it behind him.
He looms over those pages for the rest of the night, looking for some reason that they're fake or something. I'm assuming he can't find anything.
Yeah, I would say most likely you've possibly seen bits of your father's handwriting before, and it is very accurate. Oh, no, actually, no, it's not your father's handwriting at all. I'm completely wrong. It's Yeah, in fact, actually, to be honest, you'd have no reason to know if it's real or fake.
Yeah.
But, you know, as is the world.
Would
as
I
is
have
the world.
known a Kellen short elf?
Give me, and this is going to be the first roll of the entire campaign, just give me like a little history roll. Because it's, you know...
It is, you know. 22.
22 is high up there. I reckon deep in your memory, the name rings a bell as far as you're aware. Like maybe at certain points you'd heard him referenced or spoken about in terms of just part of a team that your father worked with, or just making notes, or possibly you've even seen his name on some written papers that you may have seen before. But it's faint. It's very faint.
Okay. I
But
guess I would have been very young.
With that, that's all we have for us two. Finally on to Simon. I told you you'd enjoy that.
See you soon. I'll see you soon.
And it's... Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Wait, have I got you on speaker? One sec. Try again.
Hello. You okay?
Yep, all good.
Good, good. I just need to do a little bit of arranging. And you want to change to James.
Although I reckon it's made you really quiet again, hasn't it?
I'll just talk really loudly.
Yep, it's made you really quiet for some reason.
Okay, well,
As it always does.
whilst I'm sorting that out, and
Yeah, I think that's good. There we go.
so you may have the stream up. If you don't, I advise you to. Purely because there is an image that I have created for you.
See you in a
What
second.
that is. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We are inside of a busy tavern in what is obviously a bustling city. The view from the windows shows it's late afternoon, with the two suns in the sky peeking over the rooftops, the rainbow belt becoming more visible as the light fades away. We are in Vasago, the capital city of Nekmunit. And the music... perfect. Inside the tavern is simple but practical. The wooden tables have wooden chairs around and people are being served at the wooden bar. The roof is high with a wonderful pattern of stone supports and wooden beams, making the voices of all the patrons echo loudly. Most of the patrons are recognizable races: humans, elves, dwarves, and even tieflings, and other lesser seen. But there is one figure that's sitting alone that stands out from the rest. His antenna waves slowly around and his mandibles chomp on some simple food, two of his arms working on notes whilst the other cut up his food. Most would be crude and call him a giant ant, but the educated would know that this is a formicid, a large humanoid ant only found in one portion of the world and rarely ever found travelling. This is Unit 47583, but on his travels so far most have opted just to call him Unit. While Unit is distracted, a figure walks over, 6 foot tall with deep grey skin, green eyes, a low fade on the side of his white hair, with a fringe up and back like a wave. He has shaped stubble on his long face, with sharp cheekbones and a pointed chin. He wears a long, flowing brown overcoat over a green waistcoat and black shirt, with black trousers and smart shoes. He speaks. Do you mind if I sit? There's no other tables and your table has a few chairs.
You're welcome to.
You don't know me, but I know quite a lot about you. You can call me the Mediator.
Right.
I hear there's a bit of an infection problem going on around Hybris, somewhat of a zombie virus. What if I told you I know where you can get a cure for all of that? It's what you've been looking for, no?
Yes.
Yes? Well, how about we make a deal? You do something for me, and I do something for you. I have a job coming up that someone with skills such as your own would be very suited for. You do that for me, and I'll give you the information that you want.
And what reason do I have to trust you?
Very little. But there is no commitment to this. I won't give you the details right now. There's things that need to be done first, but in 4 days' time, I'll be in the Waterwell in Corzia, quite far from here, in the late evening. Here's a map. It's in Carmanthia. It shouldn't be too hard to find. If I've done my research correctly, I'd be right in saying that you don't like the sea, so I've arranged an airship to take you across the sea. It leaves the main skyport in this city in 8 hours. The ship is called the Sky Queen. It's all been paid for by me. I hope as a gesture of good faith, you'll just need this ticket to get on board. And he hands you a ticket which says on it, Unit 47583. When you get to the Waterwell, which I hope you do, look for a table with a rose on it, sit, and wait. Like I said, there is no reason for you to know if I'm telling the truth, but if you don't like it when you get there, you're more than welcome to leave. I know you've been traveling anyway, and a free trip across one of the largest seas around is not too bad to someone.
It is both simultaneously happy, kind, and also concerning.
I understand your concern. Like I said, it is not mandatory at all. The ship is nice. You will be comfortable there. You will have no troubles. And like I say, I do think this will be very useful to you. I know there's a lot of people relying on you coming back with a cure. A lot.
Yes. And your name was the Mediator.
The Mediator. That's what they call me.
Very well.
I look forward to working with you. I hope to see you in 4 days. 8 hours. I know you don't have much to pack up, but get things ready. You won't see me on that ship, but you will see me. Then he gets up, walks away through the crowd, and kind of just disappears through the doors.
What a strange man.
Perfect. Well, there is.
Said the giant ant.
Said the giant
in
ant
the middle of the pub.
with 4 arms. What a strange man. I do want to say as well, can you see that image I made for you?
I can, and I do like it.
And that's all it is. You might as well stay in this call, because we're going to go back to everybody joining.
Are you proud of me? I'm making notes.
I am very proud of you.
How long these notes will stay as they are is another matter
we'll
entirely.
see. Greg was watching the stream, but he wasn't listening.
Was he listening?
I was not
Hello.
listening.
Hello, everybody.
Also, Magic Herring, yes, I was waiting for somebody to say absolute unit.
I think we all were.
Yeah.
So,
And that is an excellent segue into our sponsor this week, which is Absolute Vodka.
it's not. So let's not get
to
sued.
say that.
If only. If only.
So, there is actually a map that I am going to give you guys, and I will show
map is
show it
good.
on stream.
That's
I
good,
know,
good.
right? So let me just.
Seems you're
grab-
going hard on documents for this campaign.
Well,
so it'd be
as
the
all of you
document
have now
folder.
spoken to a person that said they will give you a map, I might as well give you that map.
That would be a good thing.
No one said they were giving me a map.
I believe I did.
You can have a map. No, you have to guess.
You don't get to go.
Uh,
You have to wait.
Look,
I
I
said
made some
it
notes.
All of you.
I made some
Me
notes.
My notes are very angry.
File size is too
I
powerful.
didn't make a note.
Okay, so the way I'm going to do this, as before, is I'm going to share it with you all in Google Drive.
Google Drive.
So let me just. Yeah. In fact, I don't know which of those two emails is what is that one.
It's probably the other one, actually.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
actually the other one.
all you all should.
It's this one.
Oh, I can't remove the other world map that I have.
Oh, don't worry about it. Sorry, you just have to excuse my thing. And
No.
now we can swap over
No.
to this one.
No, it's
That's the all of us in the same thing. Hey!
Yay!
Yeah. Where was it? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Okay.
Look at us.
It should just be
Great.
shared with you in
In the shared with me.
Ooh.
What's it called?
In fact,
Don't
actually,
know.
what I'm going to...
I need to refresh that.
Shared with me. Oh, my.
Corzia.
Corzia.
Corzia it is. Corzia it is. Sorry.
Oh no.
Start as you mean to go on, I say.
No, please don't.
So that must
Yeah.
mean that the place name I didn't write down was Corzia.
Yeah, yes, it would be Corzia. But I'm going to
I'll
quickly...
get everything else up, but
just
you're
for
going
the
quite quickly, sir.
stream, quickly pop over
can't
to
read.
what these guys will now be looking at is
That's not what I want.
this map here. Very wonderful map.
Open
The key in the bottom right will be pointed to you guys. If you look, the water well is marked on there in West Circle.
It is.
And you can see that in West Circle with the same colour.
But I'm not actually going to do that. The way I've opened it, I can't actually read that, so I'm going to download it.
Hold on 1 sec. Where are we?
It is the same color as the water bodies of water.
It is, I'm afraid, but it's the only one that's actually building shaped.
What was that?
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
Ah, there.
What,
So
what did you say? I wasn't listening. What did you say?
the water well, which I'm assuming we're all looking for, is marked in the west circle as a light blue thing, as indicated by the.
Oh right, I see. And it's not a body of water.
Yeah, it's not a body of
No,
water.
I will explain what it looks like because I feel like that'll be probably quite useful for you
That
guys.
would be a good thing. Good
Maybe.
thing of goodness.
Let's go to...
West Circle of the Water Well.
So, the water well.
It's quite a big place. Isn't it?
Named, it is named as such because it's built where an old water well used to be situated. Though blocked off below, the original well is a feature in the center of this light cedar wood structure, a small stone circle wall with a wooden beam above holding an old wooden bucket. The tavern itself is homely. To the left is a large fire, normally roaring away, keeping out the cold, and directly opposite the front door is the bar, a long, dark oak wooden platform with many drinks behind. Up the stairs by the door is a balcony with a few rooms to rent for the night of pained traveller's wish. The rest of the space is different sized tables. Behind the bar is a large elven woman. She has bright ginger hair shaved on the left side and messy on the other, and a tattoo of a dragon on the shaved side. The tattoo continues down her neck to her left arm, making a sleeve of intricate design, including the body of a dragon, cherry blossom trees, and various mythical creatures. She wears a black leather jacket with a brown top under and leather trousers. There's piercing in her nose, eyebrows, ears, lips, and tongue. And despite the look, is actually a very lovely person.
Minim.
Yes.
Minim. So,
Have we met?
so, the first person to walk in is Etch. You walk into this lovely tavern, probably looking around. I also will say that the weather in Corzia is cold. It's currently around 5 degrees, so you're having to wrap up a bit. This is different for different people. Etch, however, is actually very used to this kind of weather, so you're nicely wrapped up. I'm sure you have a little look around, and eventually you find just a singular table with a red rose placed in a vase, the only one of that description, with 5 chairs around it.
Before I head there, I want to go speak to the
Go to the
elven
bar.
lady.
It's currently not particularly busy. I'd say it's later in the evening. People are eating, but it's not like slammed full of people. And as you walk over, she's like, "You're right. How's it going?"
It's going all right. I'd like just a whiskey if you got it.
How much you willing to pay for? I got some that'll cost you a glass for 10 gold, 20 gold, and one down there that's 1 gold. But honestly, I wouldn't advise that too much.
It depends how much starting cash we have from the DM.
You have what's in your thing. You probably have about 15 gold or so, don't you?
It didn't give me any.
Did it not? Okay,
I'll
15.
go 15. All right, I'll go with the 10 then. Give me the cheap stuff. It's fine.
The 10, alright, it pours out and I put some ice in it, passes it over. It's like, if you need anything, just let us know. You know, got some food, some simple stuff. Not much going on this evening. Normally there's someone playing live or something, but Fortunately, not yet. You've got on a strange evening for that. Also, rooms to rent if you need it. Don't know if you will or not.
I'll remember that. Thank you. I'm just gonna sit here and watch the bar for a little while, though.
Nice evening.
Okay.
So Etch sits down. I do believe I also forgot to ask, what does Etch look like?
Well, you have a nice little picture up there, but he's since it's cold, he's got a big, dark, raven feathered cloak over, some very dressy clothes. He's got a nice purple dress shirt, red waistcoat, and some dark slacks. He's got some reinforced gauntlets on his arms and some reinforced boots, knee-high boots. He's pretty pale. He's got long ears, even for an elf, and some dark auburn hair, and a nice scar that goes right down his right cheek. And he's just gonna sit at the bar and watch the table with the rose on it.
So you're not going to the table?
Not yet, no.
Around 10 minutes or so later, through the door comes a charcoal black-skinned figure with crazed orange markings all over. This is, as we know, Flint, who, when you walk in, you see various patrons all around the bar of different shapes and sizes, and one table with nobody sitting at it with a rose in a vase.
Now, also we'll go up to the bar first.
All right. All right.
I'll say,
I love.
ah, dear lady, water, please.
But yeah, so all right, have some water. Sure, nothing. Ice, lemon.
No, just
Nothing?
water. Thank
That's
you.
on the house. Then no worries about that.
I'm gonna drop a few flower petals into it, and then go and sit at the table with a rose.
Right. And of course, you would see this Etch. He very you've never seen anyone like him before. This charcoal skin with this raised pattern is completely new to you, and he's now currently sitting at the table which Holder sit at. Any reaction?
I'll watch a little longer. Get a second. I can't get a second drink. They're expensive.
You did hear her say, however, that water is free.
It's all right.
Another 5 or 10 minutes, in fact maybe a bit longer, 20 minutes, and another figure walks in, shorter than the others, and female. Elsie. You wander into the bar, probably with a timid smile on your face. It's cold, and you're used to the cold, so you're wrapped up. It's bustling, you're used to that. You've been in a tavern before. It's probably quite interesting to be on the other side of these things. And as you look around, there is one table which has that rose on it with this charcoal skin figure. Looking at it.
A timid smile. How long's that going to last?
I go up to the table and just like, is this seat free? Can I sit here, please?
Of course. Take a seat.
Thank you. So,
My name-
why are you here?
Well, my name is Fli Hin Cha. What is your name?
Elsie.
Elsie. Pleasure to meet you. A strange gentleman asked me to meet him here. I was hoping...
Oh, I'm not the only one then.
Ah, so you met this strange man as well?
Yeah, he just showed up in the back of my aunt's tavern and told me to come here. Never left. Never left before.
Home. Yes, you'll soon find you miss it.
Yeah, not so sure about that one. Quite happy to be away.
Of course, you're seeing this
That is-
interaction as well.
Yeah.
This
I'll walk up at that point because I recognize her.
Yeah, interrupting your conversation.
I know you!
Hello.
I know you! Your name? What's
You
your
work at
name?
the Dugnac Stream, right?
Yeah! Aunt Betsy's house! Technically not a house anymore, but yeah!
You're a long way from home.
I know! It took me a while to get here. Well, 5 days, but yeah! Yeah.
Did
What
I
are you
did I
doing
overhear
here?
both of you talking about a strange man that wanted you to come here?
You too!
Yeah.
Greetings.
Oh.
During this conversation, Just so Simon doesn't get bored, another figure walks into the one. I think you turn a few more heads than the rest, but no one's particularly rude to you. And you probably all do see walking through the door a formicid, which is a gigantic humanoid ant. 4 arms, don't make the joke, and 2 legs. A big ant head with mandibles and antenna walks in, probably looking around, a little confused. But you see 3 people, as prior described, sitting at a table with a rose on it.
I'll just walk over and pull up a chair and sit down. Greetings.
Greetings, brother. Would I be right in thinking you have met a grey-skinned man?
Yes.
I'm starting to think this isn't coincidence.
I don't believe it can be. What did he say to you, brother?
He was very strange. He very kindly offered to pay for an airship ticket all the way across the sea.
Oh, you went across the sea. How was that?
I am not a fan of large bodies of water.
Neither am I. Brother.
Okay.
What is your
I've never
name?
seen one, to be honest.
My name is Unit 47583.
Oh, unusual
Oh.
name.
I'm etched, by the way.
I am.
That's your name. I've been trying to remember it, but I couldn't remember it. But there's so many people I've got to remember.
What's
You
that
just-
strange noise?
Oh. Sorry, I didn't expect you to remember my name. I just kind of passing in with my friend.
And what are
We
your
only
names?
I am
Elsie
Flea
Pie.
Pin Tower.
Yes.
I'm
You can
not
call me-
going to remember your names, just so you know. Is
Just
there
call
not
me-
anything easier to call you all?
Call me Flint.
Flint.
that's much easier.
I
And
like
you,
that one.
I'm just gonna call you Unit for now.
Yeah.
Most
I'm
people
gonna
call me
put
Unit
that as well.
4758 for short.
4758. I believe I might call you until we meet any of your brethren. I think I will also call you Unit, if that is acceptable to you.
If we are
will
here for a longer time than at least I'm anticipating, then I'll try to remember the full number code. But for now, Unit will do.
So it's Unit 4226, yeah?
Oh no.
No,
Oh.
Where is this guy?
that was one of the founding members of the colony.
Just to make sure,
Oh.
you guys all met a guy named the Mediator, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I
Strange
don't
chap.
think he told me his name. I'm not quite
Big,
sure.
grey, green hair.
Brown coat, green waistcoat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What, white
He was
hair?
even more strange
not
than the rest
green,
of
not
people
green
around
hair.
here.
I remembered the green part, but it wasn't his hair.
Greying hair, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Pure white hair.
Pure white hair.
That's a lot of information.
It seems we all met different people. You thought there wasn't going to be matter here.
Oh dear. See, that's the good meta. I like that. About
Yeah.
20 minutes after you guys generally chatting awkwardly to each other, suddenly to the side of you at the table, none of you appeared to notice him walk in or walk over. Just suddenly there is the same figure that you saw earlier. Shall I go through the... I've done the description 4 times to each of you separately, the exact same
Clearly, we
description.
can't remember.
No, I know. Okay, I'll do it once more. Just for you. 6 feet
Let's go
tall
now.
with deep grey skin, green eyes, a low fade on the side of his white hair, with a fringe up and back like a wave. He has shaped stubble on his long face with sharp cheekbones and a pointed chin. He wears a long flowing brown overcoat with a green waistcoat and black shirt, with black trousers and smart brown shoes.
You're here.
As he stands there, you suddenly notice that the barkeeper is in fact walking around to all of the patrons. There's only about 10 of them, and sort of vaguely talking to them, and they're all leaving. And then she herself leaves, and you hear a bit of a clunk as the door seems to lock, and you are now the only people left in the tavern.
Hmm.
Well,
So this wasn't a one-on-one deal, I see. You
no.
didn't mention this.
Some people are resistant to working with others that they don't know, but I'm glad you've all
I'm
made
rich.
the decision of turning up. This will be a lot easier with all of you here. I'm assuming you've all got acquainted.
We have
Yes.
Yes?
I
Etch,
can't
Flint,
remember
Elsie,
their names
Unit.
anymore.
Well, we have Etch, Flint, Elsie, and Unit. Unit 47583. I know
Hi.
you prefer your full name.
Thank you.
Although if we were talking full knowns, Echelion Vasvayas, Flichinta, and I won't even get into your name, Elsie.
Chloe, Alistair, Kira, Longwin.
Yes.
That's a lot of names, even for Veluma.
But for names, you all know me as the Mediator, and you all know you're here for a job, not chit-chat, so I'll get down to it. And he pulls the final chair and sits down. There is an illegal slave trade inside of Corzia, and I have a client who is quite passionate about stopping this trade for reasons I don't know, nor do I care about. Your task is to find the source of the slave trade, take it down, and release all of the slaves, with minimal slave casualties, please. I want to clarify that the mission is not simply to release those slaves. You must ensure that the slave trade is stopped in its current state. Of course, you cannot guarantee someone else will pick up the mantle, but whoever is currently in control needs to be... Well, how do I put this delicately?
Imprisoned.
Dealt with.
Is imprisoned okay?
Some would
I don't
say
think he's
dealt
talking about
with is a
imprisonment.
bit more permanent.
Hmm.
I don't personally have any information as to where you should go to find the source, but I do have a contact that I strongly advise that you speak with. Of course, it's not necessary, but I don't know how you'll work out anything if you don't. His name is Peter Crab, known as Sleepy Pete. He owns a bar named Sleepy Pete's in North Circle. Again, it's on your maps. One word of advice, though. That area is known around here as the Edge. Effectively, it's the shady part of town. A lot of illicit activities go on around there, so my recommendation is you keep your heads down. That is, unless you enjoy that kind of stuff. I've told Pete you'll be coming. When you get there, say, "Isn't it a wondrous day today?" He will reply, "It would be if my mother wasn't in town," to which you will finally reply, "I've heard she's such a hag." He'll tell you what he knows from there. Pause whilst they write down.
Our brains don't
Sorry,
work
I
very
forgot all
good,
this
Alex.
already. What do we say? What does he say?
You say, "Isn't it a wondrous day today?" He will reply, "It would be if my mother wasn't in town," to which you will finally reply, "I've heard she's such a hag." Now he'll know that you're safe. You've been selected for the skills that you possess, so please make sure to utilize them all and work as a team. I don't know how you all feel about working as a team. Well, that's a lie, I do. So please understand that if you try to do this solo, there is no extra glory, there is no extra payment, and you will most probably fail. If you all want to get what I've promised to you, complete the job. And try not to
But
die.
is his mum a hag? Because a hag's a really horrible word to call someone's mother.
I've procured...
What's your deal? Well, how do you know so much about us?
How do I know so much about you?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
paid
but
quite a lot
what?
of money to get these jobs done, so I make sure that I spend that money finding the correct resources to find the correct people.
Hmm.
And
Can't
how
get-
can I guarantee that you have the information that I want?
Unfortunately, can't. Like I said,
How
none
am
of this
I
is
gonna be
committal.
any good for this? I like.
Elsie.
I only know how to make Greek pot pie.
Elsie,
Yeah,
I
well,
know you're a
She's a
sorceress.
tavern worker.
You are far more powerful than you let on. There are no secrets here.
I know how to do. But it's not any useful stuff that I've been taught.
I'm sure you'll find useful ways. I've procured a home base, a safe house of sorts. There are beds, there's food, and it's nice and out of the way of all the guards and police. The address is
Can I
40...
decorate it?
If you wish. The address is 43 Cedar Street, South Circle, Corzia. It's marked on your map with an X. Everything you need should be in there. Oh, and one final thing. You have 1 week to do this job. And no longer. If you take longer and still complete the task, I will not give you what I promised. It may sound harsh, but there are reasons for this time restriction that you quite honestly don't need to know. And, I must add, if you get arrested or captured, you'll be on your own. Any questions?
No.
I trust you.
It still doesn't seem entirely reasonable that I should follow it.
Is there
We
anything
need to
I
make
can
a
do
plan.
to convince you?
Prove to me what you know.
Would you like to know? What would you like to know?
Well, what do you know?
I know that you are currently quite desperately trying to search for a cure for a virus that will make your kind go extinct. I know that there is a person, of course I'm not going to give a location, that knows exactly what ingredients you need to put together to make a cure. Don't worry, everybody else, you're all immune. Your kind is immune. Kinds.
That's not fair on him.
Would you like some soothing tea?
I'd like some tea, actually.
I was regretting my friend Unit, but yes, I am willing to let you have some tea as well. I'm going to get one of my pots out and start boiling into my hand.
Unit, I believe this is what we call a leap of faith. What other options do you currently have?
May I have some tea, please?
Granted.
Of course.
Very well.
I make rose petal tea.
Oh, I like that. I've not had it much, but I like it.
Immediate. I believe Unit here has the ability to do what needs to be done here, but do you really think these two do?
I'm boiling a kettle in my hand.
I don't.
Elsie is far more powerful than she believes, and Flint, well, just from his looks, I'm sure you can understand that he is unique in his own way. Let's just say don't get into a fight with him. I'm not convinced I know who would win.
I'm good at making plans. I can make the plan.
That's very kind. I'm going to start pouring the tea out now.
He picks up one of the cups. Lovely. Right. If there are no further questions, a week from tomorrow, I will see you again. I won't talk to you.
And where do we find you?
You don't. I find you. You won't need me from here.
How'd you
I have
find
no
us?
more information that you need anyway. Like I said, Sleepy Pete is your next source of information. But I advise first you go to the house and get settled in. Sleep for the night. The week starts tomorrow.
Very well. Well, thank you, dear. Thank you, Mr. Mediator.
No worries. Puts down the tea, turns around, walks to the door, knocks on it, waits a little bit. There's a unlocking sound as the door opens, and he walks out. Thanks the barkeep, who walks back in, walks to the bar, just starts cleaning off things. Doesn't really pay much attention to you.
Right, so we need to make a plan. We have 7 days to do something. We need to find out who it is that we need to find, and then we need to talk to them and tell them to stop doing it.
That sounds feasible. I think it sounds like a very worthy cause to stop slavery.
Yeah, slavery's not a nice thing. I don't agree with that stuff.
Gentlemen?
Well, if he's got the information that I want, then that'll have to do.
Honestly, I do believe he's got the information. He handed me a little bit of proof in something that I'm looking for. So I believe the man, but I don't know if we can do what he's asking.
I'm sure if we just talk to the people, they'll stop.
We can only try.
Let's go and have a look at his house
Okay.
and see what we
Let's
can
go.
see.
It takes a little bit of time to get there. If you look on the map, if you have actually found the X that's on there, it's down at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be
There's
excellent.
quite
I
a
thought that was
way.
a derelict place or something.
No, yeah, it's quite a long walk. I'd say an hour or so walking through the city. You come to learn that Corzia is a very, very nice looking city. You know, there's wooden buildings with stone supports. There's a lot of people bustling around. I mean, it's late evening, and yet still there's people walking around. And there's a lot of variance in races. Mostly it's Elven, but you hear different accents. There's different people, different sizes. Just lots of difference. Different. I don't want to use the word variety too many times, but you know what I'm saying.
Mixture of people.
Yeah, that'll do. After your long walk, which I'm sure you've had many conversations about what the hell you're going to do, eventually you get to the house. It's 2 floors tall, doesn't look like much from the outside. It just looks like a brown box with stone supports. It doesn't look like it's falling apart. In fact, it's very well structurally put together. It doesn't have many identifying features, especially compared to all the rest around. It just has the number 43 on the front.
I think if we put flower boxes up at these windows, it will make it look so much more inviting. And then we could have we could have lights dangling from places. Oh, it would look so good.
Yes,
I do think we should better blend in with those around us. I don't think we should stand out like you're trying to make us. If we're going to be trying to take down an underground slave trade, we don't want to be found.
It would look pretty and nice and welcoming.
I think
Oh,
flowers would be lovely.
Okay. Let's see what they have inside. It's just beds, right?
You walk up to the door and it is unlocked. And it's fairly just average inside. It's 2 floors, bleak brown furniture. Just in front of, as the front door, there's a little side table which has a little sign directing you to the lounge, which is a small room with green sofas, a small fireplace that is glowing gently as if someone had been there within the last few hours. There's a small dark brown coffee table in the center of these 3 long sofas, and there are some plates of small cakes and snacks very, very carefully and neatly sort of arranged on the coffee table. The rest of the
cake!
house...
Anybody want a cake?
The rest of the house is simple. There's a simple kitchen with everything you'd need for just average cooking and a stocked fridge. There's a dining room with a very simple brown table, and upstairs 4 different rooms, all with a bed, a side table, a mirror, and there's a bathroom.
Only
I'll
one?
make some more tea.
Make some more tea.
I'm going to check around for anything that seems out of place.
Oh yeah, the only other thing that would be of note is there is a single key hooked up next to the front door.
That must be the front door key. Keep that safe, guys, because we only have one.
Very intelligent suggestion.
Is there a back door?
There is no back door, no.
Fine. Well, I'm going to make a cup of tea and put out and go to the kitchen and find some cups.
So you get some tea put together and sit down around. I assume sit down around. They're nice cakes, actually, very nicely made. They seem professionally made, almost. Just tasty cakes of various flavors and types.
I'll also investigate around the kitchen to see what's there to cook.
Simple stuff. You know, there's a few meats in the cooler box. There's some vegetables, some fruit laid out, knives, and just everything you need for just a simple kitchen to just make food, probably for about a week, 4 people.
I'll go claim bed.
What time of day is it now?
You're looking at it's very late evening. It's probably actually pushing into the night of 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Does anybody want anything to eat before we retire?
I take a handful of vegetables.
Take a handful of vegetables.
I'll try your tea, Flint. Sure.
There you go. A
Yeah,
cup of tea.
can I
I
just
can
have a
make
cup
some.
of tea, please?
Yes, another cup of tea. I can also make a little food if anyone is interested. My job was as a cook.
What different teas do you know?
You've got 2 cooks.
Well, I usually just make flower petal tea. Rose petal is a very refreshing one. That's what I usually use.
Do you know how to make lavender and chamomile? My Aunt Betsy used to make it for me all the time when I needed to sleep.
I can try. I don't believe I have. Unless there's any lavender and chamomile here, though, I don't actually have the ingredients, I'm afraid. But I can get some for next time.
Please, that would
I'll
be
make-
great.
I shall make a note.
Well, at least the home life will be pleasant for this week.
And what medicinal purposes do your leaf tinctures serve?
They taste nice.
They're calming,
Ah,
they're relaxing. If you feel stressed, sit back, relax, sip some rose
They warm
petal
your
tea.
insides.
You'll feel calmer.
good.
Would you care for some?
Yes.
I'll make tea all around them.
So, Unit 47, you're from over the ocean?
Yes. I'm from Hybris.
I honestly don't know where it is. I've read about it a little bit. Isn't that unlivable?
It's the very south, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I also come from across the sea, but further north.
Where do We're both from Veluna.
Yeah. I've never left Veluna.
It's pretty close comparatively, though. I'm surprised I didn't see you on the road, Elsie. How did we miss each other?
I don't know. I didn't know you were coming. Otherwise, I would have came with you because traveling on your own is
also,
not that fun.
Especially on Dilrock. How did you get down from there?
I just asked the beer guy, and he gave me a lift.
Alex, do we have a map that has the names of the places on it rather than just colours?
What do you mean?
Like
Yeah,
the
we
world
will-
map. Is there a
the world-
world map that has the names
There's
of
a
the
key.
different
There
regions?
is, but you wouldn't have it, so.
Fine.
No.
You could buy one if you want.
A world map that doesn't have the names of the countries on it. Where would you buy that?
No, I have a world map with all of the names of the countries on it. In very
I know
explicit
where
detail, actually.
I come from the northwest.
It's I can't remember off the top of my mind what country's up there. I've only read about it in books. I don't know. It may have changed. We got a lot of old books.
I
What's-
don't
do
really
you-
know
what's
about
the
the
name?
world.
The name of my own home. I come from Onesduin.
Well, let's
Never heard of it.
No.
I'm sure it's such a lovely place, though.
Alex, does this
Green
house
rings
have
a
a
bell.
basement?
Home.
No.
However, I don't like to talk about it too much.
There's no basement.
Oh.
It's a shame.
Are you not
Not-
happy there?
I
Not a
was very
fan.
happy there. I was very happy. I had to leave, so
Oh.
I tried not to think about it too much. I live in the present, not the past.
It's respectable.
That's always the best way to be. Always stay positive and always have a plan.
Yes, I do have a plan. Yes, yes. My plan at the moment, of course, is to try and get hold of some lavender and chamomile.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Please do.
I guess we don't have it
I
here.
will
We
do
have
that.
to.
I will investigate the
out.
kitchen just on the off chance that lavender and chamomile.
You're talking to me now?
Investigating the kitchen for herbs.
No, there's
and-
nothing that fancy in there. There's like some simple spices and some like tea leaves, but there's nothing like. There's nothing that goes outside of normal, really.
Okay, that's fine.
If you want to go on an evening walk to a shop to try to find some, I'll go with you.
Oh, I
I'm a
like
bit late.
evening walk. I'll come with you. But can we
Uh,
just make sure we stay safe and stay on the path that we need to be on? Because if we venture off, we may end up
We'll be fine.
not having a happy time.
I
We'll be
think
fine.
it's-
I have a way with people. Well, at least in Veluna, maybe different. I don't know. We'll find
Yes,
out.
I think I remember that.
It's
Mm,
probably too late for shops to be closed now. Perhaps we should go in the morning.
Is it too late,
Oh.
Alex? Is it too late for shops?
Don't know, is it? I mean,
Only
I
one
think.
way to find out.
In fact, I can tell you. I can tell you.
We'd
Yeah.
know from having watched
Exactly.
the town.
I was just about to say you've walked through town. Yeah, most places are just they're closed, so
Well,
you'd struggle to.
tomorrow then.
Tomorrow morning, an early expedition out to a market. Perhaps on our way to go and see.
You'd know that the closest general store is Gorvin's Storvin, which is marked on your map.
Gorvin.
Store.
Gorvin.
Oh my god.
Yes. Gorvin Storvin. Like I said. We also
What?
so we yes. Although if we're going through this, we're going to go up to the north of the city. Oh, I see. You can't go that way. Fair enough.
But it
Yeah,
is
so
very
we-
late,
we-
so everything would probably be closed, apart from
So what do
restaurants
we
and
need from the
taverns.
shops?
For the shops,
I know we need
just some.
lavender and chamomile, but anything
collateral.
else, I want to make a list so we don't miss anything. We have to make sure we get everything on the list, otherwise things could just not go well. I don't like it not going well. Everything's got to stay to the plan.
I think that's a great idea. So if you'd like to make a list, I'd be happy to.
Let's also
them
keep
back.
in mind the objective is to stop slave trade in Corzia.
Very worthy.
That's the main
cause.
thing. We have a week.
Well,
Yes,
my
we can do
suggestion.
that, but the plan at the moment is to go shopping in the morning. So we
think
need to
we-
make sure we have our shopping list ready for that. Because if that doesn't go right, then we can't follow the rest of the plan.
How about on the way back from our day's endeavors? When we're actually going to be coming back. Otherwise, the ingredients will go bad during the whole.
But what's the day's endeavours? We need to plan the day's endeavours.
We're going to go and visit Mr.
I believe we're going to visit Sleepy Pete.
Sleepy Pete. That's right.
Ah, yes, Sleepy Pete. I forgot about that. great
problem-
remembering.
With that
guys.
in mind, I shall be going to bed.
Good night.
Um,
Sleep well.
Good
So,
night, unit.
If you do such a thing, sleep well.
You go upstairs, all of the rooms are identical, but there is one thing that you probably notice as you go to sleep, that on the bedstand is just a little pouch that just contains 20 gold.
Okay. I get under the bed and fall asleep.
You get under the bed and fall asleep. Fair enough, fair enough.
How
Right,
big is unit?
He is.
You said about 6'4", didn't you?
Let me have a look. Nope, 5 foot.
5 foot. He's tiny.
I'm still small.
Tiny.
Actually, I think it's 5'5" is probably more.
When you say small,
5'5"
are
is
normally
small.
not that small. So 5
But
foot ant is still
Formicids,
quite big.
well, he's not an ant.
Yeah.
It's racist.
No, 5'5".
He's also the same size as Elsie.
So,
Have we done this again?
Yep.
at least you
Literally,
know.
like
Okay,
same
but
size.
this time you can guarantee that you don't look the same.
Yes.
And
And
I
we
am
are
slightly taller 'cause I got
technically-
platformed heels on.
And we are technically taller than our last characters, which I believe were about 5'2".
Yeah, I know that was my only thing. I was like,
You're growing.
I've got to make her
Yeah.
taller. I'll add an inch. Or two.
Brilliant.
So, I'm assuming that the night sort of comes to an end, and you all
I'm gonna
vaguely
play
go
my flute
upstairs.
Half an hour and then go to sleep.
Yes. Yes, you probably all hear actually some very, very lovely flute music playing from somewhere in the house. Flint. It's very, actually very nice music. It's very nice. It's very well played.
It's some ominous flute music.
No, it's not.
Hey, we can
It's
find
not, it's
the
not
source
ominous.
of-
It's more like a
The first
lullaby,
mystery.
you know. And in the morning, I'm sure you wake up nice and early. I'm sure many of you are used to waking up because the nights are very short. In fact, it would have been dark a long time ago from when you'd got into the house, and it gets bright,
What?
you know, after like.
TPT
4 in the
Beyond is
morning.
deleted from my currency. I'm sure I had 25 copper in that.
Well, now you've got 20 gold and 25 copper.
I'm assuming we all get 20 gold.
You all get 20 gold. Yeah, all of you have 20 gold on your out of your thing. And you wake up in the morning, the light shining through the curtains. I'm sure you will head downstairs, make some breakfast. There's various breakfast things. I'm not getting into too many details of
I'm going to get
breakfast.
up early and go downstairs and start preparing breakfast.
Sure. So when the rest of you all come down, there's some nicely prepared, probably quite simple breakfast, but it's still very tasty.
Oh. You made breakfast.
Indeed, best meal of the day.
Yeah.
What was the breakfast?
I'll just look for. I mean, maybe some cold meats, maybe some bread, some tea, of course, and a jug of water.
I'd take some coffee.
There you go.
I have
So-
a little bit of everything.
Fair enough. I wasn't going to go into too much detail of breakfast.
It's
And
tasty.
I
Most
am
important
assuming
day.
you're heading out towards. Where are you going in the city? The big city of Corzia, because now of course it's light, it's bright, and there's plenty more people bustling around. Outside of your house, actually, probably a good few. Not like it's a very highly used street. Some people sort of vaguely wandering around.
Is that
Okay.
big blue circle a pathway or a wall?
So the big blue body of water, the circle in the center
water.
there, is water.
Oh.
I see. So it's like a moat. I
It
see.
is a big moat. You probably
a
could
wall.
see if you went to check out like that front big path into it. It's
Yep.
a big wall. In fact, I'll give you the proper description so I don't miss anything. It's A large wall with entrances that you can see on the map of the east, south, and west. The wall is about 40 feet high, and you can see there's guards always walking around it. 2 at the actual entrance, and 2, 4 higher up. People always walking up and down, wearing very bronze, very heavy plate metal armor, holding all sorts of different weapons. Some with big crossbows guarding it. And of course a big gate, wooden gate that's blocking you from just walking.
And we're heading to the north of the city, so
Yes.
I think, looking at our map, probably head east round through the market. Clarence
Absolutely.
Market.
Sure.
Yeah, let's get
That
a
sounds like
lay of the land.
Great plan. Let's
So it'll
stick
take
to
you.
that.
So it takes you about an hour and a half to get
I
to
think,
the market.
I think Elsie should be in charge of the map.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be in charge.
The forgetful one?
She's
I
the
don't
organised
forget
one.
anything.
What's my name? You sure you wanted to have the map?
I trust her.
I'll take them up.
You have a map each. You can have one as well.
Etch.
We all have maps. There you go. You
I
got it.
remembered your name. See? I don't forget things.
You've already said that.
Yeah.
So it takes you about an hour and a half before you get round to Clarence Market, as is marked.
On the way around,
You can
do
see-
any beggars.
You don't actually see any beggars on the way round. You can Clarence Market. There's lots of bigger shops all around the outer circle. In the center is this big fountain with a statue of a gnome in the middle, pointing off into the distance, and plenty of smaller stalls, obviously transportable stalls, dotted around the inside, selling all sorts of things. You know, some with little tidbits of jewelry, some with some vegetables, just like more small, unique things. The ones around the outside you already have on your map are all bigger shops with much more
In the
in them.
Sorry, just reading the names on the Dragon Flagon, the Palace Shacks.
Sheer cliff.
I thought you'd enjoy
We've
them,
got to
Ross.
make sure everybody sticks together and hold hands,
Brilliant.
otherwise we'll get lost.
The Copper Tang. Yes.
I'm not going to do that.
But you'll get lost.
I won't get lost, trust me.
I hold up one of my 4 hands to Elsie.
Thank you. Unit 2293.
Unit will suffice.
Okay. Yeah, because
Brothers. and
I'm not
sisters,
forgetful. I just won't ever remember the numbers.
I think we should go now. Up through the city.
So
round to the
you walk
market.
straight through the market, go upwards another hour or so of walking, and you make your way. It changes quite dramatically. As you enter what was previously described to you as, over in here somewhere, the Edge.
Yeah.
Oh, the edge.
It's the eastern section of North Corzia. And as you walk into it, so it's the up. You can see that line around the outside of North Corzia, yes?
Yeah.
So it's the two
Yeah.
it's that section on the right and
red.
the middle one. So the one that's looks a bit like a wonky tower, and all of it to the right of that. As you go across like that border, the houses change from being nice and well built and all this to just a little more dilapidated. And the further and further you go in, you get into houses that are made of wood and little bits of rotting, and they're just not looking quite as great
Well looked
as
after.
the rest of the town. There are some beggars, quite a lot of people sitting on the ground. Some are actually looking completely drunk. You know, there's people talking, shady people talking in the corners. It's just a completely different vibe to what it was in the rest of the city. And eventually
Can I
you'll
try
make...
to listen
Okay.
to what... Oh, sorry. Can I
No,
try
no,
to
go
listen
for
to
it,
what
go for
these people are saying, just to get a feel of the condition of this area?
There's not a lot of conversation that means much to you. There's people just like, oh, you know, I'm going to work today, all this kind of stuff. There's other people who are like, oh, it's got another leak in the roof. It's coming through. I mean, I've already got 3 pots down. There's not a lot of like happy chats. There's a couple where as you walk over, and maybe it's obvious that you're kind of perking up, they just stop talking. They're like talking in whispers and whispers, and as you go over, they're just like, and maybe a couple like, what? You know?
Are there any particularly pathetic looking beggars?
There's a few. In fact, there's a lot.
Well, I'll just, as I go along, I'll be dropping the odd gold coin.
I mean,
Beggars.
if you did one to every one of them, you'd run out about halfway through of money.
I'm going to give away about 15 gold.
Okay, so you give away a 15-year-old. People are very genuinely very thankful. There's a bit of the, you give one to one person and some others stand up like, what about us? Come on, what about us? Come on, give me money. Obviously starving. But eventually you make it round to the one place you're looking for. Sleepy.
It's very strange that people keep saying that they're starving. There's so many rats around.
You're such a nice person, Flint.
They're all my brothers.
I never thought of that. I've got lots of brothers.
Good. I
Yeah.
hope you're kind to them.
Well, yeah, I'm kind to a lot of them. I'm not. Yeah, I'm kind to them.
Excellent.
So, Sleepy. I will give you the description that I have written down. Honestly, no one knows how Sleepy Pete's keeps operational. The paint is peeling off the door, the wood is warped, and the inside is musty and dark. The inside is a small square with some tables and chairs and a dirty bar with a few drink options behind. There's hardly ever anyone inside, and if there is, they tend to be alone and unsociable. The bartender, Peter Crab, as you know, is a skinny elf with long, greasy brown hair and a gaunt face with an eye patch over his left eye. He wears a lute, yes. He wears a loose, white, dirty shirt with an open waistcoat what, am I drunk? Okay, I'm going to read exactly what it says. An open waistcoat coat with right black trousers. I think I was. What the fuck?
That makes sense to me.
There it goes. With an open waistcoat and black trousers. I think whatever.
Ripped.
Tight black.
Ripped, definitely ripped.
Okay.
Oh no, maybe tight. In fact, no, that would be much more because my phone would have autocorrect. T and R are right next to each other. That's the inside. As you walk in, there's no music playing. There's not much going on. He's like vaguely cleaning a dirty mug with a dirty rag. There's two other people in with lots of dark clothing, just huddled over, just like a drink or whatever. Don't even start to look at you as you wander in.
Less cleaning the glass and more just moving the dirt.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And he's kind of like.
I don't like to judge people, but this establishment needs.
I just walk up to the bar. I just go, "Isn't it a wonderful day today?"
Want to go that one again?
Isn't it a wondrous day today?
It would be if my mother wasn't in town.
I've heard she's such
I
a...
thought you did a hag. Sound like what I say to people.
It must be the ones that the mediator sent over to me.
Ah, you know the mediator. That
Well,
makes
not
sense.
too much, but you run some people my way.
I turned to Etch. Who's the mediator?
Well,
The
that's
one who gave us this job, Elsie.
Is the mediator?
Ah, I know who they were called. Okay,
Is the mediator to be trusted, Mr. Pete?
As far as I can tell.
everyone's trusted.
Huh. I wouldn't have that attitude around here. I wouldn't trust anyone around here. Not even me. But the mediator's
Why?
got some good reason.
She tells us there is slavery happening in this area.
Yeah. I've been hearing word on the street recently of a new entrepreneur focused on collecting and selling people. No one's said any names yet, but I can say the operation runs like clockwork and seems to be very well funded. There's a fella in town nearby called Kix who makes the arrangements for this kind of thing. 7,000 gold up front to inspect the stock. And then from there you can negotiate the price of what you want. I don't know where they keep the stock mine, and I have no intention of finding out. Don't necessarily abide by the law, but slaves are past my moral boundaries.
I'm glad to hear it.
If you want to find Kix, go to the Crap Shack. It's a local betting ring mostly focused on the game craps. You're looking for a tabaxi, grey and white fur, missing his right ear. Can't miss him. What you do from there is up to you.
Tabaxi.
Notes. Notes.
Missing. Right. No, not I. Yeah. The crap
Missing
shack.
right eye. I mean,
Pete, what's up with this area?
what, the edge?
What happened here? Yeah, the edge.
Nothing happened here. As far as I can tell, the royals find it quite useful to have a singular area that, if crime's gonna get done, it's done there. I'm sure you've seen the rest
That's
of the circle
Crime
is
shouldn't be done anywhere.
the rest of the circle is nice, lovely, hardly any crime going on, and anything that does is shut down pretty damn quick. But that's mostly due to the fact that if anyone wants to get anything illegal, illicit, bad, it tends to go on here. Barely anything stops around here.
It's a very
That's not
sad
right.
state
We
of
should
affairs.
talk to the royals.
You're welcome
There
to
shouldn't
try.
be crime anywhere.
You don't want to do that,
The
Elsie.
worst parts of crime are mostly kept at bay by, they call him Fang. Somewhat of a vigilante, but honestly, I wouldn't rely on him.
And where is the crap shack?
Crab Shack, on the corner. I'll mark it on your map, don't worry. Assuming that you've got one. Me, yeah,
We
because
all have
everyone
one
maps.
here.
Yeah. He notes it down for you. It's literally not too far around the corner. Just a random house. He just marks you that one.
Very well. Thank you for your assistance. I'll give you gold, please.
Oh, well, thank you.
Good.
I'd ask for a drink, but seeing the way
Welcome.
you're cleaning your glasses, I'm not really inclined.
I'm sorry, P. I'm not normally one to say things like this, but you need to change the way you do your business. If you need help, I can always help you. I helped my Auntie Betsy run her tavern.
Yeah, I think I'm fine. I'm not struggling.
Let's go.
Oh,
I just
okay.
turn around and walk away.
Yeah, you just walk out. Yeah.
Very
You
well.
wait. Let me hold your hand, please. Please.
I just silently hold out one of my hands behind me.
You shouldn't walk away. It's not safe. You have to stay with the group now.
This
Thank you.
Turanian concept of criminality is wasted.
So, yeah.
I think criminals should all be reformed.
I shall say, Catherine.
Hardly productive.
You gathered that living in Veluna.
Yeah.
How? Okay, let's just go to the crab shack.
I believe Flint was talking.
No, just,
Oh.
just saying, Catherine, Mr. Pete, and I'll leave.
Alright, yeah. If you're wondering, Plethrim. It's Elven. It's DBD Elven. So,
It's a form of element.
yeah, it's Elven. You walk, it's not very far away, and around this area is very just kind of like...
Is it by any chance the greenhouse?
No, it's
No.
not marked
That's a
on the
shop.
map. It's not
Oh.
marked on the map by the like standard key. It's just a house. It's actually further down. If you're going to pinpoint it, it's one of the houses in the middle of the section that you're currently in. Just one of the small
Okay.
ones. I saw he's just scratched a little pen line on it.
Okay.
And when you get to it, you're trying to work it out from the map because it's just completely inconspicuous. The outside is no different from any of the other surrounding houses, dilapidated, broken down. The only difference from any of the other houses is this house has a door with a sliding viewport.
Well,
Oh.
the map says it should be around here somewhere, but I can't see it anywhere. Anybody got any ideas of where it could be?
It's that one.
Might be this one. So I'll tap on the door.
There's a sink, and you see just a pair of eyes that look for a second. Sink, clunk, and the door opens.
That door has eyes.
As the
You
door
really wanna go
opens,
in
you
there?
see a Goliath, about 7.5 feet tall, grey skin, red markings all down the face and body, wearing only leather trousers, just completely showing off the ridiculous number of muscles. And he just
No, please
Right,
cover up. Please cover up.
he just stares at you whilst you walk in. It's just one large open room with many tables. Each of the tables has a few patrons around them, cheering and jeering over card or dice games, and a well-dressed figure at each table running the games. Around the room, there are 3 or 4 more Goliaths keeping an eye on everyone, evidently making sure that there's no trouble. And going between the elves are some thin female elves, scantily clad, bringing drinks from the only other door in the room, which is at the back left, probably to a kitchen or storage room. And there's one other figure that stands out to you. A tabaxi, grey and white fur, with an ear missing, just looking around the room, leaning against a wall on the far
Is it
left.
his right ear?
Hmm?
Is it his right ear?
Yes.
Missing.
Guys, avert your eyes. I do not want you looking at these women walking around. They need to put more clothes on.
As you say this, one of them walks over to Etch like, oh, can I get you anything?
No thanks.
No, you cannot, madam. Please step away.
Her face just falls, just like, okay. Just walks away and goes over to some other person at the table like,
Elsie, you really shouldn't try to make such a scene.
I'm not making a scene, but they should be wearing clothes.
In this kind of place, you're making a scene.
Nobody wears clothes where I'm from. It's very strange. The whole thing of clothes. It's one for the people with the flesh on the outside of their bodies. It's very odd.
For those of us who feel the cold and the heat, it's useful. So,
A broken party.
my friends.
No, I'm trying not to cry because my eyelashes are still setting and they can't get wet.
oh dear.
Oh dear. So, friends, this in the corner, that is obviously this Mr. Kicks. How should we approach him?
Oh,
That's what I was
like
just
this.
thinking.
I just walk up to him.
Uh-oh.
You walk over to
The
him.
back of her.
He
her
is
shirt.
as well as you walk over. He is as shady as they come. 5'10", buff as heck, as I've written, with grey fur all over, except his white paws and white chest. Wears a loose purple top with the sleeves ripped off, showing multiple scars on his arms, and brown leather trousers. As you walk over, before she manages, actually, do you know what? Just for dice rolling, which we haven't
Yes,
really done
please.
much of.
Yeah.
I want to do between the two of you just dexterity, straight up between the two of you.
Okay. 21.
12.
So you start to walk away, and there's just a grab of the back of your collar.
Well, I
Do
mean,
that, you'll stretch my
it's-
top.
It's interesting. It's very fun that you did that dice roll because I haven't let go of her hand, so she's not going anywhere.
Fair enough.
You just
I
had
don't
too
know, I don't
many
know.
arms. I didn't see the one holding on still.
Yeah, I don't actually have especially high strength, but I'm just assuming that she didn't realize, so she's just like.
She walks like,
I wouldn't have.
she tried to let go and just couldn't.
Friends, how should we approach this man?
Well, I've just tried, but you guys wouldn't let me. So if you don't want to stick to the plan, that is your opinion. But I'm sorry, we have a plan. We need to go talk to him, so we should just go over and talk to him. Just be polite.
I'm
and
just
follow
gonna
the plan.
hand Elsie to Edge, and then I just walk over to the back to.
I trust him to do it. You're staying here.
You walk over, and he just looks you up and down. Says, "What do you want?"
Greetings.
Hi.
We are looking for some slaves.
7,000 gold deposit.
Okay.
7,000 gold.
I'll need that
Could you
money
take a
before
couple-
we can go further here.
I do not have it on my person.
Fuck off.
How very rude. And then I just turn around and walk away.
Just hear like a fuck.
Well, we need to find 7,000 gold.
See, this is what happens when you don't stick to the plan. If you'd let me go talk to him, we wouldn't be in this situation right now.
When did we write out that you talking to him is part of the plan?
Last night when we made the plan.
I think you have a different set of plans to us.
I like that we like.
No,
I like
we
that. I like that
sat
you two are fully having this like basically married couple argument in the middle of like a brothel. All these people, all these like scantily clad women and men gambling, and they're all just like, "What the fuck Is this what?
We made a plan last night before we went to bed when we were talking about going to the shop, and I wanted to go to the shop first, but you guys didn't want to, so I changed the plan, and the plan was to go to
Okay,
Sleepy
so
Pig, find out what
clearly
he had to
we're not
say,
going to get
and
anywhere with
figure out what he
money.
had
We
to
only
say.
had 20 gold each. And... Sorry. What?
Well, friends, we could perhaps wait until dark and follow this tabaxi, see where he goes.
Oh, it's not safe after dark.
I think we will be all right.
It's also not safe in Corzia, but here we are.
I do
I don't
have
know, this is
ways
the first
of
time I've ever been here.
I do have ways of getting this man to talk, but it won't work so well in here.
And then I think we
And
need
what
to
ways
wait.
of that? Tell the rest of the group so we can make a plan. Because you obviously don't like sticking to them.
So, I have a
Ah, you're such a little shit.
You're still inside this building, by the way. People are starting
I
to
know.
look at you more, having just standing there, not really playing
think
any
we should be
games or.
and talk outside.
let's leave.
But we just came in. Can we at least get a drink?
I
Ma'am,
don't think
I'd like
We will
lemonade.
we'll get a drink elsewhere.
I'll make you a chamomile
Oh,
and
lemonade.
lavender. I'll make you a chamomile
yeah,
lavender.
Lavender
when
and
we get back.
The lady,
Haven't gone to
as you
the
call,
shop
walks over and says,
yet.
"Well, drinks are free if you play the games at the table.
How do I play the games at the table?
You just join, put in a little, deposit, and play all to your heart's content."
Oh, guys, can we play games, please? I love playing games with the kids at home.
Yes, go on then.
Ma'am, what's the buy-in?
Oh, the buy-in, 200 gold.
Let's
Yeah,
not
we
do
can't
that.
play.
Her face kind of just falls like, okay then, and just walks away.
What games means we have to spend 200 gold on them?
Snap, probably.
I play Snap for free at home with the boys, and they are perfectly fine with that. We have no buy-in. Who buys in for 200 gold?
All these people, apparently.
There's a
I
lot of
don't
people.
like this place. Let's leave.
Yeah.
And I've
yeah,
got
that's what we were trying to do. Whoop! Out the door.
You step outside.
Greg,
Where are you
in
aiming
case you
to
had
go?
not guessed, Ferdy's character's main character trait appears to be she is not reasonable.
No, Oblivious, I think, would come first.
Oh boy.
Friends, it seems that we have two choices. We either attempt to gather money together, or we wait until we can isolate Mr. Kicks.
Well, see,
What's the likelihood that we are able to gather 7,000 gold in 3
Slim,
days?
I would say.
Well, if we all get
Oh.
jobs and work as hard as we can, I think it would take us 20 years.
Sadly, we only have 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I think that's it.
other option.
Then we wait until he leaves and isolate
I
him.
can make him more socially malleable. Let's say.
Are you having this conversation directly outside, by the way?
No,
I think
I
we
was
have to get
walking
quiet.
away.
That's
So
walk
we
away.
need to
Where
have-
are you going
we need to-
towards?
We need to look around the outside of the building and see if there's any other exits apart from the front.
Sure, you have a look around the buildings in the sort of surrounding area. There's a couple of alleyways that you go down. You take a look, there's no other doors that you can particularly see on most of the sides. On one of the sides there is, but it's very out of place to the other doors. It's like a steel or like iron door, like completely locked shut into the back of this place. Like completely, it's not visible from the front, and it's just, there's no way you'd break through it kind of a door.
That's most interesting.
And as you're surrounding, walking around, there's what's everyone's passive perception? Use some actual stat blocks.
Woo!
We've got
15.
I don't know. That's
13,
14.
13, 15,
15.
15. Wow, none of them particularly high. Let's say the two 15s. You're just
Rude.
about. You hear a very gentle, as you're sort of walking one way down a very thin corridor, probably like side by sides. Two people side by side. You just hear this just behind you.
I look round.
What turn?
Look around. There's a figure standing there. Deep green leather suit with a cowl and mask in the shape of a panther, fingerless gloves, and 2 handles of what seems to be katanas sheathed on his back. He says, "Oh, my dear fellows, slaves. No, 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 no."
Holy slaves, Panther Man.
Oh,
Would I be,
hello, who are you?
Who am I? I am Fang.
I believe this is
uh,
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard of you!
I'm
You're
sure you
the-
have, little lady.
Vigilante.
I am for hire. But
we have no
I'm
money.
afraid you are on the wrong side of the law trying to buy slaves.
Oh no,
No,
we're
no,
not trying
no,
to
no,
buy
no.
slaves. No, no, no.
Then why were you inside of the crap shack?
Is anyone else around?
To play money, but we
No,
don't
you're around
have
the back
money.
in the alleyway.
Okay.
Dear Mr. Fang,
Yes.
we wish to end this terrible trade in the souls of our brothers.
Luck. I've been trying for the past couple months.
We have a week.
Have a week. Wonderful.
Do you have any insight into how we might find the people who trade in our brothers?
You said you were trying to pay for a slave. Why?
To find out where they are.
We were
There's a
told that this Kix was the
Yes.
path to find the slaves.
So you have a slight problem of recognition, so I can't go inside. But for are completely unknown, and I think anybody's going to have any idea who you are. So
Hi, I'm Elsie. Nice to meet you.
As far as I'm
Wonderful.
aware, I'm
Charmed, I'm
fairly
sure.
recognizable.
you're recognizable, but no one knows who you are. Therefore,
That
you
is
could
unit. I
pay the
can't remember the numbers.
unit. So you could pay for a deposit, and therefore you could find.
But we don't have the money
Source
to.
Struggling for that. He seems.
thanks.
He thinks for a second. Oh wait. Puts up a finger. I'm thinking.
That's rude.
Mm.
Please put your finger down, sir. Sir? Sir,
Shut up! I'm trying to think.
please put your finger
Shut
down.
up, I'm
That's
trying to
rude.
think. I'm trying to think.
Well, you don't need
Okay,
to
I've
think
decided.
What to think,
I will give you the money to buy the deposit.
Oh,
Goodness.
Oh.
most generous.
Oh, thank you. That's great. See, that changes the plan completely, and we can start a new plan and follow that, and it will all go to plan.
Yes. Now you go by my plan.
What is
No,
your plan?
my
Mr.
plan.
Fang?
The plan would
Before we
be: I give
go
you the
with
money.
your plan- Before we go with your plan, what stake do you have in this?
What stake do I
Why are
have
you
in
trying to
this?
stop it?
Well, I also want to stop a slave trade. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain that I want to stop a slave trade.
It's never
I
Well,
did.
cut
this
and dry.
is your plan.
Hmm?
I am the plan maker in this group.
Oh, and you have the 7,000 gold deposit, do you? No, I didn't think so. So,
You are very rude, sir.
and so are you. So I think we fit like 2 peas in a pod.
That's not rude.
Well, yes. I give you the money, you pay, you find the slaves, I join you, and we kill everybody that's doing a slave trade. Sound good? Not the
No.
slaves. I wanted to find. I don't want to kill any slaves. I wish to release slaves.
We don't kill anyone. That is not part of the plan.
We were
See,
asked.
I'm having a very hard time believing that you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart. You said you're for hire.
I trust him.
Oh yes, I'm for hire for free. I'm the only thing in this entire area of the city that actually keeps any kind of law and order.
What are we hiring
I
you
should
with if
like
not money?
But I'm not sure I do.
Good faith. I don't need money. I wish to make the area at least bearable on my own, so the guards decide that they don't want to be around here.
I'm very
See-
confused by the phrase for hire.
Oh, let me make it easier then. You can make a request.
I see. So
For
not so
hire
much.
means you borrow and give it back, but you have to pay money to do so.
You don't always have to pay money for hire.
But then how do you hire it? Because to hire something, you pay them money to guarantee that they get it back and get it back in good condition.
Ask nicely. Besides, you're not hiring me right now. I'm actually hiring you for 7,000 gold.
I'm
This
sorry,
is
but
a
we're
valid
not
point.
hire.
Well, shame.
I am, if it gets the job done.
I would agree with my friend Unit. I think this gives us an opportunity which we should not
Job?
squander.
This isn't just
Can we talk
help?
about it as a group, please?
Absolutely.
Fine.
Mr. Fang,
Yes.
perhaps you'll give us a few moments to discuss.
I'll give you more than that. If you want the money, it'll be at Sleepy Pete's.
Oh,
Very
we've
well.
just been there, Sleepy Pete. He
should
doesn't
we
run
use
a
the
very
same-
good establishment, does he?
Should we use the same recognition as before?
Does he need to know who? Doesn't he already know who you are? You said you've
I-
already been there.
Yes, yes. Very well, if you believe he'll trust us.
The money will be there, okay?
Very well.
Good. Okay.
And he'll give it to you and describe your very unique appearances.
Mr. Fang,
Hmm.
did you know the city well? Where would one go to obtain lavender and chamomile?
Is this to take down a slave trade?
No,
This is
it's just
to
for some
make
tea.
tea.
Go to a general store or something.
Very well, thank you.
Wonderful.
You're very arrogant. I'm not sure I like you.
Oh, well. When someone does as much good as I do, I think I deserve to be arrogant.
I have not seen any good that you do, and I'm not sure you do any good when you talk about killing people. So, no, you don't deserve it.
Do you think that a person deserves to stay living when they've been putting people through torment, torture, forcing them to work for others for free against their will, maybe even to kill people themselves, hate their lives, for other people for murdering multiple people, for sexually destroying people? These are the kind of people that you want to stay alive in this world, yes? Because the guards don't do anything and they won't go to jail.
But they will.
No, they
That's
won't.
the thing.
This is what you need to
We need
understand
to send them to
about
jail
the
so they
edge.
can reform into good people.
This is what you need to understand about the Edge. The rest of Corzia doesn't give a fuck.
Well, that is what we're also going to change in these 7 days.
Okie dokie. Well, when you talk to the king and tell him to change his mind, or whoever the hell makes that decision, then let me know. I'm sure
I will
King
do.
Bragan will be, ooh yes, the big savior of the day here, and stay in his castle inside the principal and hide from the rest of the world.
I'm sure he will agree with us and change the way this city is.
Well, if you get into the principal, please let me know.
I will do.
Mm-hmm.
How do I let you know, though?
It was rhetorical.
But how do I let you know?
He
Don't.
doesn't believe that we're going to do it. And
We
we're not
will
going
do
to
it.
do it because it's not
We
part
are
of the
going
plan.
to do it. Yes, it is part of the plan, actually. It's on page 42.
Page 42.
Oh my.
What an impressive plan. Very well, Mr. Fang, thank you very much. We will discuss and potentially take you up on your kind offer later.
Yes.
If I want to listen to repetitive and useless circular arguments, I'll just go to my Twitter profile.
Oh no! Ouch!
Yikes. And with that, he does this absolutely incredible leap, just straight upwards, and then sort of like half runs up the wall and lands on the ceiling, and then just starts dodging it over rooftops away.
Show off.
I know some
What a
assholes like
strange
that guy,
man.
and it's never as simple as out of the goodness of their heart. I don't trust him.
I don't believe he has a heart.
He
I
does
never
have
say-
seven. He
I
does,
never
however,
say
have
that about
7,000 gold, and we do not.
We will find another way. We do not need him. I don't normally say this, but I
see
do
no
not
reason.
trust him.
Not to take the 7,000 gold.
I was kind of looking forward to my interrogation plan, honestly.
Well, we can.
You're welcome to do your
We can-
interrogation plan if you like.
If it doesn't work, though, the 7,000. I tell you what, if we're going to do an interrogation plan, we're going to need somebody to stay back. So if it doesn't work, they can then present the 7,000 gold.
I feel like he will know who we are, and at that point, after the interrogation has failed, he may be less amenable to 7,000 gold.
I'm not sure if I want to work with you guys, so.
You're welcome not to.
This is not how we do anything. You're now making me cry.
Oh. Would you like a cup
Emotions
of
are so
tea?
strange.
Please.
I'll make it. I'll start
Wait.
making tea.
What did we do? I thought Fang was the one that offended you. What did we do?
You're not
Oh.
following my plan that I spent all night making.
Here you go. Here's your cup of tea.
We weren't there when you made the
We're
plan.
only on page 2.
On page 2. Here's a cup of tea. It'll help you calm down.
Party, don't cry, you'll ruin your eyelashes.
One of Elsie's eyelashes just dropped down.
Friends, we must decide. Do we use this gold and follow the breadcrumb trail, or do we attempt to question this man?
It seems clear that we have potential powerful ally, and he is willing to give us 7,000 gold. If he
Also,
turns
someone
out
that
not
could
to
be-
be trustable, then there are 4 of us.
I think if we have to make a new plan, the plan should be that you guys interrogate whilst some of us stay back with the money that we have to take from that horrible man in case it goes wrong, which I think it will go wrong, but because it's not part of my actual plan.
Very well. Then how about if I and Elsie stay back in the shadows,
I like that. I'd rather be with Flint right now.
and Unit and Etch try the interrogation?
I
Assuming, of course,
see no reason to interrogate him when we have the 7,000 gold. We could just give him the 7,000 gold and then get to the slave area.
Edge, what do you believe?
I don't trust him. I feel like if he's going to betray us, it's going to be far too late before we can fix it. But if you all strongly believe in the 7,000 gold and want to trust this man, I'll go along with it.
To be honest, I don't trust either of them.
I don't necessarily
So if I
trust him,
use-
but I don't necessarily trust you guys either. But if it gets the job done, then it gets the job done.
The thing is,
Well,
I
at
do
least we're
trust
on
you
the
guys
same
because
page
I
for
know
that one.
we all have equal stakes in this. If he's offering you guys something along the lines that he offered me, we're not going to fuck this up.
Yes.
He
I
has
don't know him.
information I desperately need. I believe we should use the money. It's more likely to succeed.
Okay.
I agree.
As long as we're all keeping an eye on this guy.
However, we must be aware. Elsie is right. We shouldn't trust him.
Of course.
I'm always right.
Yes, you are.
And then it's back to Sneaky Pete's.
Yeah.
And with that, in fact, take a break. I think
Oh,
that's a
thank
perfect
God, I
space
really
for it
need
to
a
be.
wee.
So do I.
I want
So-
another coffee.
Let's
I'll make some more
say
tea.
we will end the break at 4:05. How does that sound?
4:05. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Everybody back here at 4:05. I'm going to put the stream to a be right back and mute myself on Discord, and we
Cool.
will be right back.
See you shortly.
Places.
We have a
Nice.
vigilante to
That's good
punch.
Before I might as well do this before the break. You guys all were individually met by the mediator, who told you that for information he wants you to do a job. You all then met up in Corzia in a little tavern called the Waterwell, and he told you more information about a slave trade going on in Corzia that he wants, well, someone wants you to shut down. He is the one being paid to make you do it. You travelled around a little bit, mostly just walking around to get from A to B to Sleepy Pete's, somewhere he told you to go for information, who told you that Kix is the one who arranges with who's going to, get slaves. You have to give him a deposit and that kind of stuff. But you faced a bit of a problem that you don't have 7,000 gold to give as a deposit to see any slaves. So, wondering what to do, you wandered around, were then met by Fang, a man in a green leather suit with a panther mask, who told you in a rather arrogant way that he's the one that helps everybody in the city, and he's happy to give you the 7,000 gold deposit as long as you do things his way. And as we ended before the break, you were deciding whether or not you actually trusted him and whether or not you should do as he says.
And I think our answer was no and yes.
The answer was no and yes. So you're actually still standing around the back of the crap shack. That's where all that conversation is going. But I'm sure you moved away. Where were you heading towards?
Back towards Sleepy Pete. What time of the day is it?
It's about midday now.
That's fine. So.
And
Cool.
how long does it take to get home from here?
All in all, about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So
And do we know how long it takes the suns to set?
I can give this information. I believe that one.
Or I guess what time they set.
Bear with me. I can actually give you exactly how long is sort of day. If I remember what the hell I'm doing.
So it's about 2.5 hours from the north side to the south side.
The days are short and the nights are long, so you get 6 hours of daylight. So it'll get bright at about properly 5 in the morning. So actually no, probably later than that. I think I made an inaccuracy earlier. I think when I said that it was going to be early, it'd be early late in the day if it's a short day. So it probably got light at about 10 o'clock, and then the sun goes down about 6 hours later at about 4. There's a fairly long period of sunrise, about an hour, and sunset, but it's not very much sunlight. The rest is all darkness.
Some person see in the dark. It's okay.
Actually.
But
I have dark vision.
those from Veluna would be much more used to this dark streets. Plus, it's set up in Corzia that when it gets dark, all the lights come on. You know, like they're very prepared for the darkness. It tends not to be very dark at all, actually. But for you at the moment, it's midday, ish, 12 o'clock.
I think we have time to go back to Sneaky Pete's.
Sleepy Pete's.
Certainly.
Sleepy Pete's.
You went to
And,
Sleepy Pete's. We wander in. He's like, "Oh, right, back again. I think
Yep.
I've got a present for you."
Yes.
Yeah. He did say you have to do it his way.
Yeah, what is his way?
His way, according to him, is you use this money for a deposit. You find out where the slaves are, at which point he will assist, or you'll assist him, I guess, the way you put it, to deal with everything. Listen.
That sounds agreeable.
All right, listen.
And he'll take all the credit and
No,
we
he
won't
won't.
get
Listen,
our deal.
just, can I, please? Fang is... I want you to know that though he seems arrogant, it's
That's
somewhat
one word for him.
of a persona. Just, he
What-
is
what do you
trustworthy.
mean?
Is he? Does he own a bar?
No, he
Yeah, everyone who owns a bar is just
yeah, look at me. I definitely look like Fang. He's like completely like, he's about half the width of Fang.
Thanks.
No, I know with good reason that he is trustworthy, and he does do it for the good.
Well, it's
Elsie.
nice
Good
that
of
he
him
has your
or the
trust.
good of everywhere else?
The
Elsie,
good of the edge.
I'd just like to establish that the mediator didn't actually say that we had to get it done. So
True.
even if Fang takes the credit,
We still get
we
ours.
still get it done.
But how do we prove that we helped Fang?
It doesn't matter.
He's
Do we
the
need to
mediator.
prove it?
We
How did he know our names? How did he know everything that we're going
That is a
after
very good
about us?
point. You know stuff about me that I
It'll
didn't
be
think about you.
The mediator knows more about me than anybody has any right to do. So
I mean,
I think he'll find out.
Cheers to that.
you knew about Tommy, but everybody knows about Tommy and Veluna.
Anyway, yes, we will
Yeah.
take the money, Mr. Sleepy. And
Pete,
sorry,
Yeah.
Pete.
Pete Krabs.
Yes.
Oh, I like crabs. Have you got any crabs in? I make a mean crab stew. You can put it on your menu if you want. You'd get a lot more people coming in.
Yeah, we tend to have something more along the lines of questionable meat stew.
It's about the same in Veluna.
What's that?
That's one of the questions you don't ask.
It's the same thing, they just do not call it the same thing.
Luna's the city I can see up on the mountain, innit?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it. That's where me and Sketch is from.
Yes.
Sketch.
Edge. And
Edge.
please do not be
Where's
taking.
Edge from?
Please do not be taking my trope of misdoing words. That is my thing.
Oh, that was Bermude's thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bermude's thing, yeah.
He said,
Yeah,
if you look out that window right there, see it right now. Well, I mean, with the lights are on, it's a bit easier, but
Edge!
Yeah. Well,
Edge,
you-
I can see our home!
you were around when
Mm-hmm.
like there was that big, like explosion-y type thing, and like it looked like a volcano went off.
You could
Oh!
say that.
That was when the sunken bit sunk. I bet
Sunken-
you said it sunk because Veluna actually rose and that couldn't rise with it, so that stayed down. So it
could
didn't technically
tell you from an
sink, the
outside
rest of the place
perspective.
rose.
The mountain did not rise. Part of it went.
Sounds like,
You say part of it sunk. How the hell does that happen?
Yep.
Part of an
No,
entire
it
city.
didn't sink, technically. They call it the sunken bit, but that stayed there whilst everywhere else grew up around it.
Well, that sounds very
It is far too much to
This
get
is
into. That's a story for
Very,
another time.
very interesting, and I'm sure it's very useful to cover. Anyway, I would like to take the 7,000 gold, and I will go and find the tobacco.
Maybe
Yeah.
next week I'll tell you about that.
I'd be most interested.
You just bear with me one sec then. He just wanders round goes through a door at the back, clunk, unlocks a few things, walks in. A couple of minutes later, comes out with just a big bag. Gonk. 7,000 gold.
Well, I think that proves that Mr. Pete is at least trustworthy.
I'm
Now-
just given what was
Perhaps
passed through
we
me.
should count it first, just to make.
You're welcome to. It's quite a lot of gold to count.
That's the least of my concerns. Pete, it's probably not a good idea to be walking through the streets of the Edge with a sack of 7,000 gold, if I had a guess.
I mean, it depends how well you can defend yourself. Plus, I can guarantee that's not the most money anyone's carrying.
I
But
think
openly?
if we keep it out of sight, I'm sure.
Oh,
we'll be
keep
fine.
it open then. In a bag. Or
I have a shoulder bag.
something.
I could keep it beneath my cloak, I guess.
Yes.
But then you would look fat.
There's already so much room under here. I'm tall and lanky. There's so much room to fit.
Look, I don't care how you do this. Honestly, I was just told to give you the money, and that's it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grant.
Alright. Yep,
Yes, my
thank
friend.
you.
Try it. Try it under your cloak and see
Alright.
how it looks.
Alright. Just kind of set it to the other hip from my sword.
How does it look?
Oh, there's an interesting... Give me a stealth roll, I guess.
I'm picking
Okay.
7,000 gold.
If you really want one. Oh, that's not as good. 11.
11. Yeah, you're all looking at it just like... He just like goes like this. Like
Shall
just
I try-
thin and then a
It's
big
like-
one.
Booty itch, but not on your booty.
Shall I try to my?
It's like
I
It's
moved
like
it to my butt.
it's like in hip hop songs when they're trying to describe a woman's body, except it's just on the one side. So it's like,
Surely if you don't want to
You've
have...
given me an idea.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I could put it under my skirt.
I feel like this is not a good idea.
I feel like you could just split it up between the party and you've got a little bit
This
each.
guy has a good idea.
Very well. It's. I'll take a.
Yeah, alright.
I'll put a 2,000 in my satchel.
You know, I think as you spread it out, it's fine. Like it generally, you know, you can slim it out between all of you and look not like you're.
So
carrying a
now
lot
it
of gold.
goes whoop, instead of
Just a little bit, a little bit.
Right. So,
Anyway.
shall we head
So-
back to the crab shack,
Yes.
I guess so.
friends?
Hopefully we'll see you again, Pete. I'm starting to like
Oh,
it.
yeah. You sure you don't want to drink?
No.
Not yet. We've got a
Yeah.
job to do in a very short amount of time.
If you can make some clean lemonade and some clean glasses, then yes, please.
I'll make you some tea later.
Thank you. I like.
I mean, what doesn't kill you, right?
Beethoven.
How do I know you?
It is a very good question.
Oh, I ain't killed anyone yet. Ever.
Beethoven, Mr. Pete. I'm thinking.
That's
it's time
impressive.
to go.
Yeah, we'll go.
Right. So you walk out back into the wonderful, wonderful streets of
The edge.
the edge, located in North Circle, of course.
Looking very innocent.
Looking, yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's so many shady characters around. You just don't like you fit in fairly well, like a strange group of people.
Thank you.
Can we all do deception checks to try to make people think that we're not doing anything suspicious?
Oh yeah.
I was kidding.
I am
I
a
was kidding, Alex.
5 ant.
My
Yeah.
I think I'm going to look suspicious wherever I go.
You're certainly going to stand out, yes.
So you wander around, eventually getting back to the crap shack. I'm sure. Knock on the door again.
No.
Shunk. Shunk. The door
Wait,
opens.
my eyes again.
The same.
Elsie,
In fact,
do they not
it's probably a
have- do they
difference.
not have- Elsie, do they not have windows where you're from?
We have a lot of windows. Even a lot of windows like that. I don't know what's wrong with them.
We have a lot of windows, some of them unintentional.
Yes.
No, it's a different 7'5" Goliath this time. No,
Has
they're
it got a
still all
t-shirt on?
around. No.
Sir, I have told you already. Please wear a t-shirt.
This one is just wearing a
You will
jockstrap.
get cold.
Just looks at you. Meh. Waves you in.
Good.
Everything
deal
looks
with
pretty
these
much the same as it
people.
did before. People playing craps and card games and all this kind of stuff. And the same Tabaxi still just leaning against the wall and just like picking at his teeth.
Uh,
Now
Greetings,
let
we
me
have
go
the gold.
talk to him, please.
No,
You're
I'm
a lot better than you this time.
No, you start talking
Just
to these.
walked right past
Yeah,
everyone.
you just start talking and then unit's already off, just like greetings. Like, all right, let's see the money.
Giving kicks the stink eye.
You want me to show you a large sum of gold in an establishment like this?
Yeah.
Very
Trust
well.
me, you
Let's
know
get
what
out of my bag.
you're not going to be in any kind of trouble.
Very well.
I'm going to just go with the assumption that you collected it all together. Or like you go back and just collect it from everybody.
No, I just like the idea of him showing his little bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just
I'm
go
also
back.
imagine that we all followed and like when he asked to see it, we all just kind of
Takes out his,
show our
like,
stuff.
he takes out like a weird, it's kind of like a plate. Looks like a dinner plate, except some strange markings around the edge. And he, holding it in, flat in his hand, kind of like this, plops the bag on top of it. Some runes kind of light up and he goes, all right, come on.
Side note, I really thought you were going to go, he picks up a strange stone, and when he puts it on the bag, all the coins go into the
Oh
No.
no!
Oh,
I had that.
No.
I had that stone the entire time.
Yeah.
Right to the very end.
He
There were
just-
3 of them, though. We saw 2 of them, didn't we?
he gestures you to follow him, and he goes through the singular back door at the back. And as you, I assume, follow him, he opens it, unlocks the door, walks through. As you go through, you notice that behind you, 2 of the Goliaths are now following suit. And you walk through into a very short corridor, kind of thin, which is fine for all of you guys, hilariously for once, but the Goliaths are like...
It
And-
feels like
If you had a shirt on, sir, you wouldn't be scratching yourself down these walls. Shirts protect you and keep you warm.
Shirts get caught. Rip.
And then you just fix them. I can show you how to sew them up if you want me to.
A kind offer, but I don't think they.
There's 2 doors on the
Casually
left
shaking my head.
side of this short corridor with a couple of elven ladies who are currently waiting for you guys to pass. You can kind of see past this one which has lots of alcohols and drinks and food and stuff, and the other one is a bit more of a storage room with some cloaks and various, like, what you assume are bags of money or something. But right at the end, to the right, there is stairs, which he walks up, round to another corridor, and finally to a room. She opens up and walks inside, assuming you follow,
Yep.
into this simple, it's just a simple room. no bigger than a standard bedroom. It's got a large table with chairs in the center of it, and a window which is just completely blacked out. Some sort of paint or something, you just cannot see through it. There's a light hanging from the ceiling. And as you go in, the
Why
door.
have a window that you black out?
And as you walk in, the doors close behind you, and the two Goliaths stay outside. And he just looks at you and goes, "Oh, you're a simple one, aren't you?"
If you black the window out, you can't have any light in. You need natural light. It's good for your skin. Or your fur?
We're gonna have some kind of strange problem here. You're here to have a slave, right?
Yes.
She's the one that will be taking care of them, making sure they're healthy.
Exactly.
That's why she's like this.
Hmm.
Don't worry
I
about it.
worry about everyone's health, and I want the best for everybody.
Very kind.
Etch, give a deception.
Oh,
Elsie's not
shit.
lying.
Where's my deception? It's an 18.
18. He says, "Okay. Well, this is simple. I have a list with pictures of our stock. If we like what you see, we talk payment, then we arrange a pickup. Sound good?"
We do
Where
not
do we
get
pick up
to see
from?
the slave before we buy the slave.
I've got images. You can see them. Then we arrange the pickup.
I'm sorry,
But
sir.
I
but
do
how
not
we know
want
that the
images. I
aren't
want to see the
images, though?
slaves.
You both talking at the same time means nothing to me. Listen, I've taken a deposit off you. You don't want the slaves, you get the money back.
I would like the slaves. I would like to be able to see the merchandise before I buy.
Yeah, you see the images.
An image is not sufficient.
And if you pick which one you want, we take that one, go to a drop-off point, and then you see. You don't pay until you see.
Sir,
We're not idiots.
May I do a health check before we continue with the transaction?
Yeah. You don't give money until you're happy.
Okay.
This is
Seems
just
like
so
a
you
very
get to
inefficient
choose.
way of doing it.
I'm not going to leave them all around here, am I?
No, you leave them
Like,
wherever they are
I
kept.
was expecting you to give
Exactly.
us somewhere to go.
But I ain't going to take you to where they're all kept. I bring them to you. Are we going to have a problem here? I'm feeling like there's a problem here.
No, I do not want a problem. I want to make sure that they are healthy.
And you will
And
do.
if you need me to do health checks on all the others, I do not mind doing that. I am known for keeping my slaves nice and healthy.
Yeah, whatever. Listen. All of the slaves come with a slave collar, which you'll be given the controller and key for. It says features you'd expect, shocking when they're disobedient, tracking in case they run, anti-removable without the key, stops any kind of attempts to remove it or give them an intense disabling shock, and a silencer which you can activate if you just don't want them to be yapping on. Some of them do.
You are a very strange country where your slaves disobey.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got a list of you want to see that, I assume.
Yes.
Yes.
And he pops down on the ground. 8 images, all with names, and I will quickly run through them, and I will also post it to you in Discord, so obviously you don't have to try and remember them all. Hopefully that'll actually post very nicely.
Not so much.
Okay, you can see where the new names, some of that has bigger gaps than others. So you're looking at 8 images. You have Aureliel, female, drow, 188, 5'1", 56 kilograms, 123 pounds, thin. It just says as a little note underneath, thin, meek, easy to manipulate. There's a second one, Fraga, female, dwarf, 123, 4'7", 186 pounds, 84 kilograms, strong, good for heavy lifting and building, needs disciplining. Trosi, male, human, 28, 5'7", 187 pounds, 85 kilograms, average build, good looking, good for greeting. Brontloy, male, tiefling, 35, 5'11", 138 pounds, 62 kilograms, average build, slow, clever, good for advisor. Dame, female, human, 34, 6'3", 224 pounds, 101 kilograms, tall, strong, non-compliant, good for heavy lifting. Frunklin, male, half-elf, 27, 5'9", 158 pounds, 72 kilograms, very quick, charismatic, good for prostitution. Hudon, Male, orc, 35, 6'9", 396 pounds, 180 kilograms, giant, strong, good as a bodyguard, and Odathrim, male, dragonborn, brackets, silver, 39, 6'1", 245 pounds, 111 kilograms, big, quick, good for manual labor.
What was the name of the first one? I think you might have missed it off the.
The first one is
It's there.
Aurelial.
That's
No,
been
it's
messed
not
off.
on
It's been messed off the copy paste.
It has, sorry. It's Arielyel, it doesn't really matter. So he points down, he says, right, this is your choice. Many things for many stuff. What in particular are you looking for?
I think we need a small female who will be good for this group.
Somebody
disagree.
clever might be useful.
We've got a female dwarf if you want a small female. Or there's the drow. She's also quite short.
I was thinking more so clever as well.
I was thinking somebody who can tell us tales of their.
See, the only clever one we have is the tiefling male, and I'm not sure about that. Do you guys have experience in dealing with tieflings? Because I am more of a dwarf person.
Then we can give you a dwarf. We got a dwarf.
I did, but I'm not very keen on dwarves.
Nor on needs disciplining.
Discipline is easy with the collars. Just a little bit of shocking here and there, you know. We'll learn to play.
How about the half elf? Thingy,
Which one?
you're good with elves, aren't you?
Brunklin? Yeah.
Let me just find. Oh yes, male half elf.
He's still young enough for us to teach him the ways.
Very well.
He's young. Very tall. Well, tallish for a human, I think. Elf.
Good.
Half elf.
I would like to see this Franklin then.
He's very young though. 27 for a half elf. That's quite immature. But
I am 6.
Child.
there's clientele that like that.
Well, 6. No, happy birthday.
He's a child. What
I
are we going
think-
to do with a child?
I think having a child be a great thing to help us do. Or we can teach him the way of our team.
Yes. Okay.
Well,
We will see Franklin.
Brunklin. Sure about that?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a group decision.
Okay. Just so you know, slave will cost 15,000 gold.
Okay.
That's on top of the 7.
Okay.
And you'll be bringing it
I'm
to.
swimming on contact.
Hang on. Just gets out a piece of paper. He's like variously looking through notes, like God, Truncheon Street. Yeah, there's an alleyway down there. You know the area.
we'll
No, we
figure
have
it
a
out.
map. Can you?
Yeah,
We will
come
figure it out.
on. I can mark it on the map. Down right by the water. Right down at the bottom. There's Truncheon Street. There's a little alleyway. There'll be someone waiting outside who'll recognise you. Go down there.
Okay, thank
Trade. There you go.
You're
What time?
definitely one of the better slave owner people that we've dealt with.
Indeed.
Thanks. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Just bring the money and do your checks when you're there, whatever. And then.
When?
Oh,
Yes, when?
next route is 2 days' time in the evening.
Where did you
So,
say that?
Evening, 4 o'clock?
Sunset.
Sorry,
well.
just so I can write it down. What was the address we need to go to?
Truncheon Street. There's an alleyway down there.
I like the idea that this completely disorganized team just all get out the notebooks and start writing.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Right.
All right.
You gotta keep the picture. You can compare or whatever when you get there.
Thank you.
The notes.
Good.
Alright.
May we leave?
All right.
Alright.
Yes, I think we've seen all we need to see.
Turn and
Good.
walk out.
You get up, you leave. He stays seated. He says, "Pleasure doing business with you." Open the door. The two very big Goliaths are still standing there. As they see you, they're like,
expectingly.
yeah. As one of them starts walking down the corridor as you follow. The other waits till all of you have come out and then walks behind you. Walks you down the stairs, down the corridor, and out that same door that puts you into the main area once again. And they just sort of go back to their posts.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a perception check to see if we're being followed out of the crab shack?
As you leave the crab shack, yes, do a perception.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Do a perception.
5.
5. You see a lot of people and a lot of eyes, so you don't think anybody's following you, but it's hard to tell.
11.
11. Same. You know that there's people around and like people are looking at you, but as you come out, you didn't see anyone come out after you. You don't see anyone generally around, so. Okay.
23.
23. No one's following you.
Thank you. I like this dice. It's a good dice.
Elsie just doesn't pay attention, so I'm not going to roll.
Yeah.
So as
Right.
we
World.
stroll along then, so friends,
Right.
what should we
Now
do?
we were supposed
We
to
shall
compare.
go home via Gorvin Storvin.
Well, the way you were going home, you could of course go past Clarence. You were going past Clarence Market, which is plenty of other things. Gorgon Storgon was just the closest general store to you, where you are.
Do we know, is Truncheon Street in the edge?
Yes, he on your mark said that
It's by the water over there.
it's down by the water. Yeah, it's
By the moat.
lowest.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And there's a little alleyway.
I
down
recommend we take a quick turn by Truncheon Street just to see what we're
Idea. Let's see what we can see down there.
I think we
bouncing
should.
around
I think we should get in contact with Fang.
He'll get in contact with us, I bet.
I'm also quite curious about the very.
He's probably watching.
I'm quite curious about this big steel door at the back of the crab shack.
It's probably coin.
Yeah.
Did I do a good enough job convincing him I only cared for the house?
Surprisingly, yes. Surprisingly.
I've never lied before. I don't know how to do it.
I really did not expect you to follow on my lead there.
I didn't want to, and to be honest, we're only getting a child. How could they enslave a child?
For the record, as I am learning, it is very important for humans to have a good impression of people. We do not have slaves where I'm from. We are all slaves.
Oh.
Somehow that's worse.
We're all slaves to the greater good. That's how that works.
That's very.
Okay, turn of phrase, fine.
Yes. So we head down to Truncheon Street, and what do we see down there?
I mean, it doesn't look that different from the rest of the area, to be honest. It's just another road. There's only one like obvious alleyway, which is fairly large. Assume will be the one that they'll meet, but there's people around, no one paying attention to you. It's right by the water. There's no like barricade or anything into the water, which is obviously the big moat, which then leads up to a wall.
Are there any clear ways to the rooftops, or just to get a better angle of the whole area?
I mean, you could probably quite easily find a way up. There's lots of houses all kind of like jammed together. If you were athletic enough, you reckon you could probably climb up one of the alleyways. You know, there's various little bits that stick out, like in the supports for the house. You know,
Would it be athletic or acrobatic?
acrobatic.
Or
Athletic to
if
climb,
you,
acrobatic to sort of jump your way.
If you happen to have a spell called Jump, for example, just a random
Yeah, that would be.
guess.
Can I just try to swing my way up one of the rooftops with the little pokey bits out the side?
Yeah, sure. So you give me an athletics, acrobatics. You can go acrobatics.
Come on.
Actually, I'm
24.
sorry. Can I also? Oh, actually, no. Yeah, I'm going to use Wild Shape as well.
So what's the plan?
We'll get to you in a second, Simon.
Okay.
As you say, what's the plan? It's just. Actually, what did you roll?
24.
24. Hip, 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 wee, whoop, shamp, clonk, just lands on the roof of one of the people. You hear like from one of the people downstairs, like as you jump up on top, but no one stops you, and you're only a couple floors up, but you have you can see across the rooftops of this area. There's very few taller buildings, and you're probably.
Do the rooftops look traveled?
No, not really. They're mostly like quite broken in, and like you're pretty sure if you tried to run across them, you might break something. You can
climbing up onto the rooftops.
You can kind of see a little bit higher across the wall into like the walled off area of Corzia. Because the wall there is only about 40 foot tall. It's not massively tall, and the houses are similar-esque height. So you can see people walking around, and inside from this side, in fact. But you would have been able to see this from below. A giant castle. You're seeing the back of a gigantic castle. It seems attached
Disney
to the walls.
castle?
No.
Is there a little star flying around?
No, it is definitely not a Disney castle.
The way that you said that, it really sounded like a gigantic asshole.
Yeah, it's more like
I mean, look at the map.
It's more like a fortress. Yeah, if you look on the map, you can see it's
I
like
mean,
a
you're
big
not wrong, I
fortress.
It is a gigantic
You're on
and
gigantic.
strange gigantic asshole with two.
Sort of around that, very, very slightly, you can kind of see. In fact, from where you are, you can't see anything in the center bit because it's just castle in the way. You can see vague movement from like through some small windows and arrow ports and stuff.
Kind of scoff at it.
But at the same time,
No, I was gonna use wild shape, but it appears to be less of a complicated thing than I thought it was going to be. So I'm just not going to do it.
fair enough. You're like, okay.
By the time I'm like ready to do it, he's already like up on the roof.
Fair enough.
If he's up on the roof, I'm just gonna misty step up onto the roof next to him and be like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so you're looking like and then suddenly there's a voice to your left. Just what are we doing?
What the? How did you? You know magic. You know how to do it.
Yeah. Aunt Betsy taught me.
What? A sweet old lady. Well,
Betsy
honest,
taught me.
I
Yeah.
heard you. It was. That might actually be useful. All right. I'm going to remember that you can do this. What else can you do?
I'm going to acrobatics up as
I
well.
can do this, and I
Sure.
cast enlarge and reduce and go
already
really
have.
small.
25.
25. So as you're having this conversation, the second figure, of course, you probably haven't actually seen Flint move particularly fast until now. He just follows on and lands next to you.
What are you all doing up there?
By this point, I'm about that big because I've cast enlarge, reduce.
What?
Shrunk us up now.
What are you doing up there?
When I arrive, I'm going to say to Etch, where is our friend? I thought she came up here.
I'm down here.
Oh, that's very clever.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know how to get back, but down here.
Well done, Elsie. I am.
I guess I'm casting wild shape then, since the whole party is inexplicably.
What do you transform into?
Spider?
You transform into a big spider.
Well, a relative like a. It's a
In
tiny.
fact, oh yeah, it's tiny. Yeah. So it's like a big tarantula. So you guys don't really notice down below. It just disappears.
Well,
and
no,
then
Elsie suddenly does notice.
hang on, and then Elsie right next to you is just this tarantula that's just like. When you hear a scream, look down. There's a big old spider there.
Oh,
Greetings, Elsie.
I don't think you can talk in wild shape, can you?
I don't actually know. Can I talk? That's a good
I
question.
don't think so. Turn a big shift for a number of hours. You can revert to normal. You can revert to normal action. No, it doesn't say you can, so I'm going to assume that you can't.
You can't cast spells, and your ability to speak or take action requires hands is limited in capabilities you'd be used for. Yeah.
It's just a
I
big
start
spider
climbing
there.
up Etch's leg.
so
I pick her up. Whoop.
I'm going to get my my kettle, which is currently empty, and try and scoop up the spider. Because spider, you must be careful. Someone will tread on you.
This would be useful. Okay, I'm starting to.
I'm not convinced that you know that that's unit.
I don't. I'm just thinking he's a spider.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to scoop
I'm
it up.
talking about Elsie.
Oh, fair enough.
So do I succeed in scooping up the
Yeah,
spider?
do you let him scoop up, or do you just transform
yeah,
back?
I'll let him.
Okay, you scoop him up, yeah.
So I'm not going to put a cover or anything. I'm just going to. Mr. Spider, I wonder where you. I'll find somewhere safe for you.
Just wanders off across a rooftop.
I'm going to go back down again.
Oh yeah, okay. Give me an acrobatics with disadvantage if you're going to try and jump down whilst holding a spider.
Absolutely. Actually, not with disadvantage.
I like you're
Oh.
helping a spider get down from a wall.
Yeah. Because he might get trodden on the roof.
Exactly. Around.
What did you
So
get?
it's 8.
An 8. Ooh, that's not good. You start to jump down.
Close I can get without getting a natural 1.
You start to go down, and then you try and grab onto something with one hand, and you slip. You're going to take 7 damage. In fact, both of you are going to take 7 damage, but of course...
No, what? I can like
He's in a pot.
jump away. Yeah, I'm in a pot.
You can, but I mean, you're just going to hit the ground. Okay, give me an acrobatics, but you have to use the spider's stats.
Acrobatics is dexterity.
Dexterity, so basically it's a roll +2.
I'll be trying to protect the pot.
But you already lost control.
It's a 14.
14, okay, you can take 1 damage, which actually I think just transforms you back. You just clonk, hit the ground, and boop.
Yeah.
Ow!
And
Oh.
you all see the spider then just go into your former Sid friend.
Ow.
A unit, it's you. I wish I'd realized.
Okay, we're starting to see some. Okay, everybody has their use, I guess. I'm starting to understand what the
How
meteor
do we
was.
get down now?
Can't you just here, hang on to something here, breast pocket, hang out in there. Acrobatics down.
Okay, acrobat. If you're in the pocket, I guess you wouldn't have disadvantage, but yeah, just do an acrobat.
What?
Oh, so the thing is, he was holding you
I told you.
with one of your hands, so he was only able to use one hand. Whereas if he just sticks it in
yeah.
the pocket, you still got both hands.
That's fair.
Acrobatics 19.
Yeah, you're fine. You just land down on the ground.
Are you sure you can't undo this?
I mean, I probably can, but I don't know how. I need to remember.
I'm starting to think you just want to be carried.
I mean, is that helpful?
I think we should head to the market and get back to the house.
As you start to walk away, literally about a minute later from when she transformed, she just whoop, and rips out the pocket that you've put her in. Lands on the floor.
Earlier.
I'm really sorry about that. I'll sew it back up when we get home, I promise.
Alright, that's fine.
So you walk out of the edge, and as before, things just suddenly start getting much nicer, much easier to be around, one could say. Are you going past the market on the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
General store.
So,
I still need to buy some lavender and chamomile.
So, as you know, you're looking for a general store. There, as you look around, there's many around the city. Let me just.
We're going the way of the west side, aren't we?
The west side.
Yeah, because that's
Right.
over where what's it street? The Truncheon Street was.
No,
No,
I
that
mean
was
Truncheon
down-
Street
that was
is just down
south.
below Sleepy Pete's.
Yeah, the south. Yeah, directly south of.
Oh,
Like right
by
down
the
the bottom of the
moat,
water.
up by the
Yeah.
lake.
Ah, yeah.
No,
yeah,
sorry,
okay.
I see. I
Right,
understand the.
No, so I was assuming we would go back the way we came, which to the
Yes.
right, to the east, and then
You
round
go
the big
to the
market.
east around the market. In the market, yes, the only general store that you can see is Burke's General.
General Burke. Okay, I'll go into there then.
You walk into Burke's General. The shop is open plan, around 30 feet deep and 60 feet wide, with shelves all around it, a grid, and on the walls there's all sorts of items for sale. And at the back is a small desk with a man behind it. It's an elf, rather portly, very pink, wearing fairly nice clothing. And as you walk over, he sort of gets out of his chair like, "Hello, yes, the things you're looking for."
That's a
am,
big
uh,
We
tool.
want some lavender and some chamomile.
I have both. Yes, of course. That would only be 5 silver for the two, depending on how much you want. I'm Milorin Burke, by the way.
Malorin Burke. Malorin. May I call you Malorin? Nice. Very pleasant to meet you. Yes. Could I have... you said it was 5 silver?
Yes, for just a handful of both.
I'll take 1 gold's worth, which is two portions.
Sounds good. And he goes over to a little... There's lots of little pots, and he gets like a little scoop. Gets a different bag. Yes, here you go. Waddles over. Oh, there you go.
And just going to add that to the old...
Anything
Yeah,
else?
Sort yourself.
Mm.
You carry on buy things while I do one.
Any chips? Thin potato. Baked.
I don't think I've heard of them.
That is nice at all.
I'll take a look through the snack section. See.
Have a look at the snack section. There's a couple things that you could equate to chips. They're not quite the same. I think there's a few that they're not all made of potato. The closest thing you can find is a potato slices that are thicker than a crisp chip that are not quite as crispy.
Hmm. Is there anything salty and crunchy?
Nuts.
Doesn't have to be nuts. Oh, nuts.
Oh,
Does he
and-
sell
get-
mushrooms?
I'll
Does
get
he
the
sell
weird
mushrooms?
there's a little section, where there's all sorts of different types of mushrooms. Mostly the normal person edible mushrooms, for a stew or whatever.
I will take 1 of each kind of mushroom.
You just pick up 1 of each. He's like, the group. 4 silver, 5 silver if you wish. Easier to change, but I've...
5 silver.
How much for these? What are they called? Do they have a name?
They're called... Oh, here's a thing. Potatoes.
Oh god.
Wait, no, are you talking about the nuts or the circular potato?
The circular potato.
Yeah,
thing.
the potatoes. Salted potatoes.
Valzette's back at it again. I want them. 2 bags of your finest potatoes.
So he gets you a couple bags. It'll be just 1 gold.
Sure.
So what should we do while we wait for this unfortunate slave to be presented to us?
We're saying this outside of the store, presumably.
Yes, when we're walking back.
Kind of want to get a better idea of everyone's abilities so we can plan out how things should go if it goes.
I feel like we do not use the P word around the small lady.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Well, she's frozen, so...
Oh, she's gone.
Well, I guess she did not like the plan.
No, she's gone to write it up in great detail.
Yes. I'll give her a couple seconds to...
Yeah. See if she reappears.
Do I spell potatoes?
I did...
Pottetes.
I did Potateets. Not a double T at the end. Just...
Sure.
I realized halfway through the session that I have essentially just started doing a Russian accent, and I
Yes,
didn't
that
really
was-
need to do that.
Yeah.
I was only meaning to do the rolled R because I thought that might be how he pronounced it with the mandibles, and then I realized that I'm doing a Russian accent and talking about the greater good, and I've become a communist accidentally.
Oh.
It's a pain when you accidentally
There you go.
accent, isn't it?
Hashtag accidental communism.
So,
Yep.
So anyway, after the place burns down,
no.
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 I've only just walked into this shop apparently.
No.
You've bought a couple things, and you walk outside. Do you want to check out any of the other shops, or are you just going to go straight home?
I'd like to go to the library.
Go to the library.
Bye.
Yes. There's the, let me scroll down to it. The
That's
City
in-
Library of Corzia. It's a large Grecian-looking building with columns up in front. With a big
Okay.
open door that you could evidently just walk into.
Grecian?
so I'm not.
What's Grecian mean?
No, again.
This is Grecian to you, not to the player, to the characters.
This is the meta description.
Do you want me to try and accurately describe Grecian without using the word Grecian?
No. I was being
No, I'm
fascinated.
talking to Simon. If you walk in, yeah, there's shelves of books, all sorts of things, all sorted out. You do see as you go in, there's two strange-looking humanoid figures. But when you look at their faces, something's just not quite right. There's no, articulation. But they do watch as people walk in. And there's similar figures walking around the library. And one sitting at a desk, sort of a reception.
Hello. Looking for history books?
Hello, welcome to the City Library of Corzia. If you are looking for history, please go up and to section A3.
So are you
Okay.
okay?
I am doing fine today. How are you doing, young lady?
I'm doing fine, thank you. But what's wrong with your speech, if you don't mind me asking?
There is nothing wrong with my speech circuit. This is how we are designed to sound.
He's correct. He sounds a lot like my neighbor at home.
You are a former Cid.
Hey. That's the first time I think
Performances?
Me.
On to the history section.
You just walk away, go upstairs.
Your unit.
Yes.
The former Cids name themselves unit with a number after, in order for efficient reference.
Oh. Learn something new every day.
When they've
Follow it.
Library 4, Elsie.
when they wander off, I'm going to say to the librarian, "Do you have any information about black-clad knights?"
Black-clad knights, are you looking for blacksmithing?
No.
Are you looking for historical people?
Possibly.
What was his name?
Historical people would be in area A3, nearby the history section.
Yeah,
What's the
thank you.
what's the robot librarian's name?
There's no name. It doesn't have a
Oh.
name on it. It hasn't given you a name.
So I shall wander upstairs and join the others.
Alexa, play Despacito.
No. You walk upstairs. Yeah, there's plenty of just these automaton type things, obviously, walking around rather jankily, just checking in on people every now and again. Are you okay here? And you can see that everybody is reading, just sitting down, making notes, reading books on desks. The lower area is a lot of books around the outside, but just a lot of tables, like desks for people to, big desks for people to read on. The upper bit is a lot more like shelving and stuff with all their books.
Well, I'll go up to.
Like this back in Veluna. Not anymore, at least. It's mostly ramshackle libraries everywhere. But,
Yeah, I'm not allowed in the library anymore. I didn't return my book after Tommy ate it.
Who's Tommy?
who is
your
Tom?
friend eats.
My little brother!
Oh, your little brother
Okay,
ate.
I have an issue. Earlier you said everyone knows Tommy.
Everyone does know Tommy. You know the little boy that runs around the tavern?
Who's Tommy?
Oh shit! I just didn't know his name.
Yeah,
He's an
everyone knows
old
Tommy. What did you
Sure.
just say?
I said he's an annoying shit.
My little brother is not an annoying F word.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Gonna look for a book on the royal family.
Look
for a book on the
look for a
Royal
book on little shits.
Yeah, you find what's effectively more like a ledger of the royals throughout the years. And actually, there's a little break that for you, it just says Corzia, like at the start of Corzia, and before that is all of the same line in Veluna. Which you would obviously be aware of that being the capital. The first line of people that are in the Corzia side of things. Let me get to my notes so I can give you this accurately. Going to there, going to there, and then there. It says King Alwyn Bragan.
Is that Bragan?
Bragan, yes. B-R-Ashgen. Come on.
That's the A and E stuck together.
It is. Yeah, there you go. The last entry on Veluna was King Gerul Bragan, Gerwul, rather than W, 2 U's, L. Says, just says underneath, deceased in Veluna tragedy.
I point to Veluna and go, "Hey, that's where we're from. I recognise that last name too."
And there's a
Royalty here.
image next to, like little portraits next to them all. So you've got King Alwyn Bragan. It doesn't, obviously, you can't really tell a height. There's emerald green eyes, this fairly muscular looking body, and like a nice tanned skin with swept back white hair, wearing a very fancy emerald jacket and black trousers. It's got this nice circle golden vine crown circle around. And then
Pretty
there's,
similar to how I remember him.
underneath there, in fact it would be above, there is Nair Bragan, who I can't be bothered to try and work out how it shows that is Alwyn's mother, who is no longer the queen, was the queen.
The Queen Mother.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know the royals then?
And just the last one, next to, actually there's a couple extra, next to the king is Queen Yolanda Bragan. Piercing blue eyes, trim muscular body, pale white skin, short white hair, and a pixie cut long blue dress, golden lining, and wearing a little tiara similar to that of the king's wearing, but slightly smaller and less
Ornate.
preposterous. Ornate, yes. With a big scowl on her face. And then under that there is two princes, Prince Theron Bragan and Prince Verin Bragan. Therin for Theron, and Verin is Verrin. They both have green eyes. Theron has a huge muscular body, light brown skin like his father, white hair in like a pompadour, a loose emerald top, tight trousers, and a little circlet, much less fancy than the others. And then Verin Bragan is green eyes, thin body, still fairly trim, slightly darker brown skin, white hair again with messy, all sort of over the place look, just brown top, black leather trousers, and again a thin vine sort of circlet that he kind of looks like he's bored just in this painting.
Yeah.
Do they? I'm assuming they look pretty similar to how I knew them. They don't look any strikingly different.
Yes. So Yolanda and Alwyn, there's probably like a little more lines in the face, but they are very similar. Yeah. Sort of, yeah.
We're just pretending we didn't hear you say that.
Yeah.
That was me asking the DM, not.
Yes, I know. But
We wouldn't know that.
spoilers.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go look in the historical figures area for
Yes.
anything about knights.
Give me a.
Home with a buffalo.
Well, how long are you guys going to spend there?
Only not long. 10, 15 minutes.
Then give
I
me.
guess.
Well, just for Flint, where's the one I'm looking for? Investigation.
See, in the old days, I was good at that. 12.
You don't find anything pertaining. There's a couple things where it's like, oh, that's a guy who used to wear black armor, but you don't find anything that really matches the.
Yeah, fair enough. In that
I
case,
guess
then I'll get bored and go outside and sit on the steps and start playing my flute.
Fair enough.
I'm also going to look for the, I guess in the botany section.
Yeah, you go back
like
downstairs. The
next-
botany section is in section F3. And
Good.
what are you looking for?
Information about the Hyperceps mutants.
Yeah, give a investigation.
That is a 7.
Nothing.
So probably not.
Nope. You do actually find some stuff to do with the mushroom that you're very seeing, which I can't remember the name of right now.
It's
but,
also called like physics. It's just
yeah,
you know,
but you don't find any as to what.
I see.
Hey, Mr. Funny Talky Guy.
Hello.
Have you heard of a series called The Plant That Could?
Too much matter.
No, but there's one called the Rock That Could.
So there's one called the mushroom that could.
In that book, is there any information on their accomplishments since coming to Corzia?
The royals.
No, the mushrooms.
Yeah.
There's probably there'll be vague like references to them helping save Veluna after a tragedy by helping put up a wall to protect the rest of the city and providing money to make sure that everybody stays alive. And that's the kind of stuff. And then moving on to what they did for Corzia, you know, making it such a thriving city with a an amazing citizenship and all that kind of stuff.
Then there will be a far too loud for a library. Atuali, according to that one key phrase is slam the book and put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, you guys just hear from Atuali, and it's like, what the fuck?
What?
Actually, Elsie would definitely recognize what that means. Atuali basically is like, the fuck?
I would recognize
Fuck
it.
off.
But I'm
Fuck
outside.
off. Yeah, I think only Unit wouldn't recognize. He basically just went, fuck off.
Yeah. Although I probably wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't know.
Not even by
Who says
Max.
that? Etch.
Edge does, yes.
Etch language, please.
Well,
Seen her
congratulations,
walk-
you remembered,
walk out of the
remembered
library.
his name.
She did remember my name. Yay!
Progress.
So, you're leaving the library, I assume.
I'm sitting outside
Yeah.
playing my food.
Fair enough. Let me walk. Oh yeah, are there any other of the shops that you wanted to check out? Oh, about 1 o'clock.
Have we got any flower shops?
Flower shops. Well, if you look
Plain
at
old
the
self-racing.
Yes, that's a good idea. I want to go to the flower.
So you'll probably work out that the best for that kind of thing, possibly an alchemist, a cauldron, would help you with that. The herbalist would probably also have flowers. That's Jeremiah's botany, and possibly also Burke's General could have some.
We would have seen him when we were there, though.
I'm gonna go to
Yeah,
the
there's some things.
I wasn't there, so I don't know what we even bought.
You aren't there.
Okay, I go to the botany place then.
You're gonna go to. You're going together.
Yeah.
yeah,
I guess
yeah,
so.
yeah, might as well, yeah.
So, Jeremiah's botany. Walking into Jeremiah's botany is less like walking into a shop and more like walking into a garden. The ground is grass and soil and a distinct path cut through a forest of all sorts of plants, some you've seen before and some never. It smells fresh and clean with just a slight hint of fertilizer. The path leads to a counter made from a fallen tree log. Behind is a very prim male tabaxi. Grey fur all over, a pink nose and ears with green eyes. He's wearing a gardener's belt over a loose tank top and brown khaki trousers. As you walk over, he's like, "Are you right?"
Hi, sir. I'm wondering if there's any flowers or plants I can perhaps.
Oh, I've got
look at.
loads of flowers and stuff around here. That's what I do, you know. Plenty. What are you looking for?
Well, I've recently moved here, and I would like to make my house look pretty. So, what do you suggest?
Ooh. Well, what are your favourite colours? It's probably where you start.
Well, mine's green. Etch, what's your favourite colour?
Green's quite easy. They're
Red.
mostly green. The
Red.
stem.
Okay.
I like
okay,
roses.
Unit,
The
what's your
roses?
favourite colour?
I do not have a favorite color.
Oh.
I can do roses.
Flint, what's your favourite colour then?
I suppose orange.
So, green, red, and orange, and whatever.
Use some Some rose planters. They are a nice vine that can go up front of there.
Oh, that'll be
Nice.
pretty. Yes, please.
Yeah, it'll take a while to grow out, but just some seeds down, a little bit of extra magical fertilizer, and you.
Can we get it to grow in 7 days?
2 weeks.
Oh. Oh well, we'll plant them anyway.
Right. Only be 5 gold for the plants, and then let's go 2 gold for the fertilizer. Sound good?
Okay.
Hang in. He just walks away, just disappears into the forest of stuff, and eventually walks back. He's got some very small vines in his hand. He's like, right, you, and then a little bit of this, just a bag of what looks just like soil, stinks a little bit. Yeah, nice one.
Thank you.
Did he compliment himself? Nice one.
Well, I'm looking around to see if there's any petals that have fallen from the flowers, that kind of thing.
There's probably plenty. I mean, there's a lot of flowers around the shop.
So I'll say to the Tabaxi, Brother Tabaxi, would you object if I took some of your fallen petals?
Nah, go for it.
I'm gonna see if I can find things like hibiscus, rose, that kind of thing.
Give an
Just take a
investigation.
handful of each. Investigation. Once again, I believe.
Wandering
that's the
around.
one I can't do anymore. Oh, that's better. 18.
Yeah, you probably get a little lost looking around everything, but you're just walking around finding various petals that are just on the floor. Get 3 of whatever you wanted: hibiscus, rose, and something else.
Yeah, I've on my equipment. I've just got flower petals down, so I
Yeah,
just
that's
increased.
fine. Nice. Well, is there anything else that I can? Oh, okay.
Thank you, brother.
Flint, why'd you call everyone brother when they're clearly not your brother?
We're all brothers under the skin.
I don't have
I'm
skin.
not your brother because I'm a female.
And sisters.
I don't have skin.
Okay.
Ah, that's why I can't find it, because it's in there. Oh.
Okay.
I believe he's speaking of metaphorical skin, like beneath your exoskeleton.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Within,
What's an
we are all
exoskeleton?
part of the same great spirit.
I am. Okay.
We're here to help each other.
That
Some
I
people
agree
don't do.
with.
Some people don't do such a good a job at that, huh?
Misguided.
No, they don't do they yet.
I don't like the way you said that.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're on about.
I think we should all go back and have a refreshing cup of tea.
I like that idea. Thank you,
Yep.
sir.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So let's head back to the digs.
Yeah, you take a while walking back through the lovely city that doesn't smell like it's dying, and eventually get back to your little house. It's probably getting on to 3:30, 4 o'clock. The sun is looking to set.
So if it's, I imagine it looks quite pretty with the sun setting behind the castle and everything.
Your sun would be setting in. So from where your house is, which is there, it would be behind the house. It's the left.
To the left.
Wait.
I'm going to set up
Oh,
an
it's in the
easel
east and
and
the west,
start
yeah,
to try and paint the sunset.
Sounds good.
Yes,
I mean, you'd struggle.
I have painting supplies.
You'd struggle to find a good view of the sunset where you are, 'cause it's very dense.
It would be like with a street scene with the sunset in the sky.
Yeah, you can do the best you can. Anyway, either way, you get a very nice painting with all the colours coming out from.
I'll
Okay,
go and make some dinner then.
just to help me relax. There we go. My arm hurts after I fell off that roof.
Yes, and you can all have along. Is there anything in the evening that you're looking to do?
I suppose when
I
we
want to learn more about everyone.
No, no.
actually, yes, that's a good point. After I finish my
I
painting,
audibly say, "Oh no."
I was gonna say, I would do a bit of practice. I would do a bit of practice after I'd done my painting. Always practice for an hour every day.
Practice.
Practice what?
Painting.
Martial art moves.
Okay.
Tai Chi.
Exactly, Tai Chi plus a bit of that sort of thing.
Yeah, so
sparring
in the
partner?
evening, I turn around to everyone and go, I want to play a game to get to know everyone.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
Do you need a sparring partner?
We can spar if you wish.
Sounds better than a game. Yeah.
Game? No? Anyone? Game? I mean, we can play wherever. I can
Oh.
play it with you guys whilst you're doing whatever you're doing.
We can play a game after we've had a little spar. I always like to do a little bit of exercise in the evening. Helps you sleep.
Okay, I'll
Sounds
wait.
good.
So you guys, where are you going to go for this? Into the street? Probably not a great idea.
Where's that little cross?
Just
There's a
clear
little-
some
is that
space
there-
out. I just
yeah,
play some space out the living room or something.
Down by that little lake, maybe?
But isn't there a space
Not far.
behind the house?
There is a space, so
Like
that area behind the house is more like a communal space, garden type thing.
It's a
Space
little
garden.
garden, that'd be fine.
A communal space garden.
So you go out into this garden. There's not really any enemy around. There's the sun sets behind. Let me change the music just a little bit. I want the two of you. Let's do this properly, shall we? The two of you
Oh.
roll initiative.
Are we gonna? Do we have weapons of any kind, or just fists?
I would just be using open hands. Well, actually,
I'm
in
going to
this
go
case, I just do open hands.
dying for the loot, so while you're doing
Yeah, it's
that,
fine. You can
go.
pop.
Sure.
Okay.
So the two of you set up in the background. The camera pans around as you
Oh no.
get ready to fight. What are your initiatives?
16.
8.
So you're ready. And the first to move out of the two of you is Flint. Immediately lurches forwards. I'm
I
not.
don't lurch forward. I'm very elegant. And
Whatever.
graceful.
I'm gonna just mostly not. We're gonna do this in theatre of the mind because you're not really gonna go further than 5 feet away from each other anyway. It's a big
No.
open space. Comes towards you, move up towards him, and
Well, I'll do an ordinary open-handed attack,
one shot comes in.
that's a terrible attack, which is 10.
Nope.
So you immediately parried away. You surprised by the speed. You're like, whoa! Knock his hand out of the way on the back foot.
Second attack,
Second punch comes in.
which is 22.
That'll hit.
As you're off balance from deflecting that first one, the second one, bam, straight in the stomach.
What do I want to do with the damage?
Let's
Obviously,
roll
pulling my punch.
damage, but you're probably pulling punches, so do like half damage.
Do we just want to count hits? Like count it to a number of hits or something?
We'll do half damage because one of you would eventually give up, and that's up to you guys doing the character. So
Okay.
just half
Okay,
damage.
yeah,
it.
sure.
Half damage. Where am I? That's 4.
This is a massive, massive punch to your stomach. You know, he's not a huge frame, but this is like it's like a train hitting you in the stomach, and you still feel as though that wasn't his full power.
And then I'm going to do my bonus.
He does a bonus action. What are you doing for the bonus?
I'm going to spend a point.
Spencer, he immediately swings around for a third hit.
My
Make it
third
fun. It
attack
just swings around, does a kick.
is 19.
19?
Yeah.
Yeah. Distracted from the first one, bam! The next one just gets you in the side of the head, ringing in your ear.
That's another 4 points.
Ow!
And then finally,
And then my final attack,
continuing that spin, the other leg flies around in the same direction.
16.
That's right on.
And you're just, completely distracted. You try to defend it, and bam! Straight in your face again.
Same roll every time, and that's another 4.
4 damage. So there's just this. You block the first one, there. Thump, thump, thump.
So, I don't have unarmed strike damage. So I'm going to pick up like a stick or something, I guess. An improvised weapon if I can.
Yeah, go for it. Let's say there's like a hefty branch on the ground.
Sure.
You can borrow my stuff if you want to.
Stick is fine.
The improvised weapon, I don't know how much damage an improvised weapon does.
Up to you, really.
Or you could say that you keep a sheath on your sword.
I do that.
So still half damage. Won't be piercing.
Sure.
So you keep the sheath strapped to your blade.
Yeah. Especially after the damage you just did to me, I don't feel so bad about it.
Exactly. So on your
so-
side, Flint, he pulls out his blade, not unsheathing it, evidently to do some blunt damage to your face.
Fair enough.
All right. I'm just reading this ability. I will make a swing
Swings around.
with my sheathed blade.
Swings.
I'll go for the leg.
He's trying to sweep out your legs.
Ooh, 17 plus 8.
Ooh,
That's
25.
gonna hit.
You land on the ground after your double flurried kicks, and immediately there's just this wham in your ankle.
Also,
Is it Is that a thing to make him prone, or is that just you're saying use him in the legs?
it was just going for the hit.
Okay, cool. I'm just saying because if it's
I'm not going for anything too fancy.
cool. So it smacks you in the legs, and you manage to immediately recover back up, but still there's damage.
And as you're hit, a little brand appears on your ankle and just starts glowing there.
How much
The brand? Oh, I haven't even rolled it. Oh
Oh,
my
that's
god. Yes. Dropping everything. So that's going to be half damage, right?
Yeah.
5 damage.
So quite a painful shot to your shins, and a bit of a searing pain as there's like a brand sort of appears in your ankle.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
shot.
that's the brand of castigation.
Castigation.
Oh, yeah.
Or stream reference. Whenever you damage a creature with your crimson. Oh, that's not the crimson right feature. Never mind. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
That's
You
a
just get
different
hit in the ankle and you say ow.
It doesn't. Yeah.
But I still go ow.
So
Yeah,
ow.
You still go ow. And then I'll make a second attack against him.
Swings around a second time, trying to get you whilst you're distracted.
19.
Ooh, yes, that hits.
Yeah, crack. This time in the side of the body, I'm sure.
5 again.
There's a couple of shots, bam, bam, harder than yours and slower than
Yeah.
yours, but you weren't expecting still quite a lot of speed from
Yeah, impressed.
back to Flint. Recovering.
Right, yep. I'm going to take the quarterstaff this time in one hand.
Pulls it off his back.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't actually do any more damage.
It just looks cool.
It just looks cool, exactly. So, attack number 1. Like that.
this
I can't
this
try
time
and
you're
do
like, haha, and then
Ah.
suddenly you see this staff swinging around towards your face.
So, 14.
Nope.
Immediately, Matrix style dodge, like, whoa!
Right up against the sheath. I have to use both hands.
Yeah, bam!
And that was 12 on the second one.
Nope,
Yeah, it
again.
swings around the second time, tries to smack you a bit lower. Bam! Defend it. You're ready this time.
And I am going to go for...
So who's died?
Nobody's died.
Nobody's
Yeah, he died.
dead.
I'll go flurry of blows again, why
A
not?
flurry of blows. So after the
So another point.
takes out, in fact, goes for a couple more kicks on your body.
I determined to get at least one hit. And that is
At least
21.
one. Yikes.
That'll hit. Yeah.
21. He swings around with his legs after you've defended, and some sort of like weird like move that you weren't expecting. It's almost like a horizontal leg, bam, into the side of your body on the other end.
And would you believe it's 4 points again?
4 points of damage.
Again?
I've rolled 5 every single time.
And then-
It's like a weighted dice.
Finally, an upper kick, I'm sure. Trying to go for the stomach or
And
something.
the final one is... Ooh, that's 21.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah.
Final kick,
And that
straight in the
is...
stomach.
Ah, it's not 4 points. This time it is 3 points.
Proud of yourself. Clang, clang, you defended too. Then you just get smacked by these legs, not expecting. I'm sure you're not used to someone kicking you.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair. You've got 4 appendages. I'm not using my 4.
Wait, why are you not using your 4?
Because he's using a sword. A sheathed
yeah.
sword.
I'm
Oh,
a sword fighter.
right,
I'm using hands and feet.
How a monk fights.
You're having difficulty fighting someone with 4 limbs. Wait until you fight someone with 6.
Over to you.
Back to Etch, yes.
Yeah.
Bit more damage there.
So, seeing as you're not holding anything back,
No, yeah, the staff is because it increases. It doesn't actually increase the attack. It increases
I
the
know,
defense.
but it's a little more serious. So
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna-
like, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna press the hilt of my blade in, and it's gonna wait like half a second, and it's just gonna burst into flame. The entire sword.
Ooh, I'm impressed.
Oh,
It's like,
Even through like the sheath as well.
yeah.
Incidentally, at this
Yeah.
point, I mean, my hair would not be on fire. I'd like to point that out. It might be smoky slightly.
Yes.
was going to say,
And
you
then
think you're going to do more damage by attacking the fire elemental?
You don't know he's a fire elemental.
Shh.
We know that he can
Also-
light kettles in his hand.
Also, it's not technically fire damage that it does. Weirdly enough.
Oh,
Of course.
Uh,
that makes sense.
I take damage doing that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
Like
take
magic.
3 damage.
Oh well.
You know. So I wince a little as I
You can see him as it
that.
like brands his hand or whatever,
Just-
and then swings around for another
take a
attack.
swing at you with the sword.
You see the flame burst, and you almost, I think, hear a little chuckle come from him. From Flint. But then it's...
It's a happy chuckle.
What's the hit?
That is
I like.
that's a 16.
16.
That's a miss.
That's a miss. This time, what you were expecting to hit, suddenly his bow staff's just in the way, protecting himself. Bam! Defends against your strike.
Go again. I have a feeling 21 will though.
That will
Yeah, you
hit.
swing around, catch him on the other side in the back. You're expecting, I think, it to barely hurt Flint, but then the flames that you were expecting to not singe you seem to still hurt you.
Yeah, that-
It doesn't burn. It's just a more intense.
Yeah, you're just not you're
Power.
just surprised that the flames weren't like a problem.
Ooh. 4. 5, 13 plus 6, 19, 7, 9.
No,
9.
That's
And
a lot
damage.
of damage. Bear in mind that's half. That's pretty good. Right. Okay. We'll go one
Okie
more.
dokie.
So I'll check again, and that is 11 and 17.
Yeah, that'll hit me.
17. Oh, back to rolling a 5 again. So that is 4.
So you swing around once more with the pole, bam, get him in the hip. I'm sure there's a little bit of a cracking sound. You're not sure if it's the bow staff or the hip. Slam. Again, still pulling his punches.
And with second one, oh, that's a 21.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Swings around a second time, bam, in the other leg.
5. I like these dice.
5 points.
4 points.
4 points.
I promise there are other numbers on the dice. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to do, it's my bonus this time, dodge. So I'm going to spend a key point. I am going to not attack.
Yeah, so what you were expecting more hits to come in, you're almost wincing, and then suddenly he actually just steps back ever so slightly.
Yeah. So attacks are now at a disadvantage. And if I had any dexterity saves, they'd be at advantage, but I haven't got any. So your attacks are now at a disadvantage.
Okay.
And over to you.
How do we both look?
I'd say
I know how I
Etch,
look, but what?
Etch is looking fairly bloody.
just-
There's, a little bit of bruising starting to appear around his skin, but he's still like, come on, okay, here we go. Flint is a little better. It's hard to tell, but he's still very composed, just like... But he does seem to be ever so slightly like, maybe favoring a leg and sort of just like breathing a little heavier, like,
Mm-hmm,
Let's just say I wouldn't want to go more than another couple of rounds.
It's really interesting me knowing where you started and where everything's going.
Yeah.
But I was injured before I started, which didn't help.
Yes.
Because I fell off a roof.
It's your own fault, really.
I know.
All right. I'll go for another 2 swings.
Go for another 2 swings.
And I have disadvantage on these,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Disadvantage on the first?
But no,
No, it's for the whole turn.
This is for the whole turn. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
attacks at advantage.
So highest I got was dirty 20.
That will hit.
So you start to swing in. He almost attempts to do like an impressive flip over the top, but you just still catch him in the side. Blam!
Okay. 3, 4 plus 4 plus 6, 10 plus 6, 8 damage.
Good damage. Oof. Is that halved?
Yeah, that is half. It would have been 16.
It's a hell of a cracker.
Ouchie.
and cheese.
How is he looking? I don't want to go too far.
Priceless.
After that one, you see, I think he would react with a hell of a wince, and you'd see that there's like definitely more blood sort of generally appearing.
Is that the first time I've seen him kind of break a little bit, though?
Yeah, I'd probably reckon you've now he's noticeably weakened.
Okay.
I think
Sure.
I'm going to
I'd
risk
stop
one
it.
more round.
Hang on, he's got another attack.
I was going to pull back the attack.
Okay, so you do the
After seeing
one, you
that.
see that, and then you just wait.
About to go in, and it's like, okay.
But do you stop,
For
Flint,
me?
or do you just take the
But
opportunity and?
if he goes back, I'll just stop and bow. We're only we're not trying to kill each other. We're only sparring.
No, exactly. I'm just asking,
We're still holding our punches.
Yeah,
So you both just step back and like,
just
you both of you
back.
just go,
It's about time you guys stopped. You're starting to really scare me.
That was an excellent session.
Fun. Yeah. It's a good fight.
That's an
And I'm
impressive
going to
score.
clean up both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you, my brother.
You as well. You as well. How about some of that tea?
Let's go inside and make some. I'll get my best herbs out.
Wonderful.
So you go inside, and now
Your best herbs, the only herbs you have.
Well, I've got lots of flour. Although, in fact, now it's time, I think, for Elsie to have her long-awaited.
maybe you
chamomile
just spent the
and
last half
lavender
hour.
tea.
You just spent the last half hour, I'm sure, Elsie, trying to convince a unit to play a game like, come on, please, come on.
I'm going to make some chamomile and lavender tea.
Does unit
It's very
break?
both calming and healing. And I'll take the first cup to Elsie.
Does unit come down as well?
Yeah,
Unit, would you like some tea?
I will. Yes, I will partake of your strange watery leaf beverage.
I can make that mushroom into a soup for you if you wish.
No, thank you.
I'll
While
just-
we have this tea, can we play a game, please?
Why not? What game did you have in mind?
I want to get to know everyone.
Okay.
Where's that bathroom again?
You don't need to go to the bathroom yet. Sit down.
Okay.
Everyone sits around the sofa rather tentatively.
With their tea.
Their tea, yes.
Now, Etch, tell me about yourself. Tell me something not many people know.
I was there when the city sunk.
Oh! Oh! How long ago was that again?
50-ish years ago.
Older than you look.
Elfin, you know?
Oh, yes, of course.
476, actually. I've seen a lot.
Oh, so you know my great uncle Ol then?
Who?
Aunt Betsy's husband used to have the inn in the sunken bit. I can't remember what the inn was called. That's why it's called. The new inn's called Dugnook Stream.
Not off the top of my head, honestly.
Oh. Oh.
I met a lot
I'm
of people.
sure
Not all,
you do. Don't
not all
worry about
elves.
it.
Not all elves know each other, Elsie. It's not how that works.
I know that. What are you trying to say?
Why would you assume that I know whoever it is?
I'm sure you do.
Maybe I met him. Who knows? Are you really writing down the stuff that? Okay.
Flint, tell me about yourself.
Oh, I've had a quiet upbringing, a life of peace and quiet. My old mentor gave me this flute. I can play a tune for you.
Yes, please do.
I'll start playing my flute.
Yeah, he plays a very lovely. Is it lamenting? Is it?
Yes, it'd be a quiet. contemplative piece.
Yeah, very gentle piece. Probably only like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Look, it is actually very well done. Obviously, he's very, very skillful on the flute.
Lots of practice with me flute.
Nice. Oh.
Oh.
In case it can be handy for people to know later, my flute is also quite interesting in one way.
How so?
Why's that?
Well, how can I? Well, Etch, if you can put your hand down on the table.
Sure.
No, I'll just rest the top of the flute against it like that, and then let go, and the flute
So it's like a stick pointing upwards, just resting on his hand.
Yeah.
No pressure.
pressing down.
It's probably
Just
like
pressing down.
it's probably
Pressing
like
down
someone
gently.
pushing on your hand, but it's not like it's painful.
I'll take my hand away, and the flute will just stay there, pressing on your hand.
Okay. Try to move my hand away.
It's
Nothing.
just gonna.
You cannot. It
You're
just will not
trapped.
move.
Well, that could be useful as well. Okay. Okay, I'm starting to see. Mediator
So I'll
knows
take
some stuff.
I'll take the flute away again.
Unit, tell me something interesting about yourself.
I do not know what would be of interest to you.
Anything. Anything we don't know.
That is quite a lot.
Anything you would like us to know that we don't know.
Anything
I didn't
anything
get
you can
that.
do which would help us in our upcoming encounter.
I am in tune with the mushrooms which surround us at home, and I'm able to use them to do certain things that might be beyond the normal capabilities of someone like yourself.
I think
Sounds fun.
Yes.
Are you just saying you're a really good cook? You're talking about the mushrooms that we bought at the store?
Not precisely. Those mushrooms are for research, not...
Well, we know that he can turn into, for example, a large spider.
Yes. Among other things.
Yeah,
Small
please
fire
don't
one.
do that again. I didn't like that. Oh, now we've got to know each other. Let's go to sleep.
No, you haven't told us anything about yourself yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is
What
true.
would you like to know? I'm an open book.
Something we don't know about you.
Well, I have many things. I have 7 siblings, 4 brothers, 3 sisters, and we all live in, well, apart from Oggy. Oggy left to go, yeah. Well, Oggy
Something
went
that might be
adventuring.
useful for our current job.
Also, that's not about yourself, really. That's more so about your siblings.
What about the tricks that your aunt taught you?
Oh, she taught me many tricks. I know quite a lot of things.
Oh, yeah?
Like what?
What's his
Well, I
name?
can do this, and I cast Gust.
So she's just standing there. She puts her hand out and goes, "Look!" And there's just this a massive amount of air just sort of blasts at all of you. Everyone, do a strength saving throw.
Oh, no!
I'm not gonna try and resist it. I'm going to
Aren't
try
we
and,
sitting on a couch?
I'm going to try and flip with it.
Give me a strength saving throw.
3.
3,
12.
12,
15.
15. Okay, so our formicid friend Unit basically just locks in place, sitting down, just like the other two.
I just like hold on to like the sofa with 2 pairs.
Exactly.
Two hands.
Etch just like falls over, and Flint just flips backwards. Kind of, it starts gracefully, but then just flicks too much and bonk, lands on his back.
Oh.
Ow! Ooh, impressive.
Thank you.
It's something.
I think I'm.
I
gonna
mean,
go
I
and
can
have
do a
little-
lot more things, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I think I'll leave that for a nice surprise at a later date.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
head up and have a bit of a lie down, have some meditate.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
You go up to the bathroom. Just a bathroom.
I'm gonna start refilling some of my vials as well in the bathroom.
With water from the sink?
Sure.
Sure.
Nope.
Yeah, so you all, I'm sure, have as the evening curves around, sort of resting, long night's rest, which is actually pertinent because some of you
Because some of us could do with
beaten to a pulp.
Yeah, some of us beat the shit out of one another. And...
You
Tending
smoke
to
a
yourself.
spell
Some of
block.
us used points as well.
Yeah. And then you once again awoken early in the morning when it's just pitch black. You know, like a good 7 o'clock start is just, you know, pitch black. The sun isn't even looking at rising yet. So you come down, there's a bit of breakfast had. What is the plan for the day?
Stretches, morning stretches.
Tea.
This is a lot of tea.
Strange obsession with tea.
See, we
Tea in the
should be on
morning,
page.
tea in the evening.
Better than
We
alcohol.
should be on
Healthy.
page 9 of the plan, but seeing as you guys messed up page 1 to 8, I'm not sure we'll stick to this plan anymore. Anyone's got an idea of what we're going to do today instead?
Hey, Elsie, can I see the plan?
I would like to get
Indeed.
in contact with
I'm gonna take it and toss it into the fire.
That's my night's work!
We're not gonna follow the plan.
That was a little unfair. Never mind. You can make us a new plan as we go along.
Yep. One with the changes.
Yes.
Hopefully that we can all collaborate in making.
No, it's fine. No more plans. You don't appreciate me and my plans.
I appreciate
I'm
you.
gonna go sit in the living room, away from
Not the
you.
plan made without us.
And I spill 'em out.
Okay.
From the dining room. They're both, okie dokie.
So, how are we going to get in contact with Fang?
Well, we could head back to
Split
the
Peak.
edge again. Yes.
Yes.
Or we could even just stake out the crap, whatever it's called, crap house, and
Crap
see
shack.
if we crap shack, and see if we can see anybody toing or fro who might be of interest.
We still have this full day too, right?
I do have a plan to suggest for the transfer of the slave
Yes.
that we stake out before the appointed time, and see if we can see where they're coming from.
Yes.
And then perhaps after the transfer presumably is not going through because we do not have 15,000 gold, we can see where they go after.
Yes.
Or get fanged.
I think it's important that we talk to Fang though. If he's so
Yes.
set on helping us.
Well, he is in the edge, isn't he? So we'll have to go back there.
Yeah. I guess that's what we do today. We find Fang. We make plans with Fang. Move forward.
And try
Yes.
and release our brothers and sisters tomorrow.
So you
Yes.
start to head off around the city
That
once
would-
again. Do you go the same route as before?
I'm going to go get Elsie first.
Oh, yeah.
Elsie
She's
comes-
just going with us.
As you leave, she's just sitting in the lounge.
Elsie, we need your planning. Come with us.
Okay, but keep him away from me.
I think he's secretly an admirer.
Well, he can keep his admiration.
So yes, head back towards the
You
end.
set off back through the town.
Tell you what, I was going to suggest, just out of interest, we could head, rather than going the way we went last time, we could head down the main street towards the castle and sort of make our way around, sort of without going through the gates or trying to go through the gates, or just have a look and see what we can see of what's inside the moat.
There's nothing of interest in there.
Probably not, but
How do you know that?
I've never seen a castle.
The Royals aren't doing shit. They're not to be of concern here.
The what?
The Royals. They're not doing anything.
Oh,
There's no reason to worry about it.
Well,
Good.
I wouldn't mind seeing it as we go around anyway.
well, I'm sure it's possible to see the castle from a
Going up the west side would be a good idea, just to get a better lay of the city, though.
Yeah, we'll do that then. Head around the west,
Look the opposite way.
near the inside edge.
So the shops that you come in the vicinity of would be in the south. You're going past the Bumbling Bee and Gorvin Storvin. As you go into the west, you're going past Mr. General's, Toljar's Palace, and the Waterwell, which you would recognise.
Yeah.
As you go around the north, the first section of the north that you come into is actually the same as the rest of the city. There's, it's quite a nice looking place. You see a lot of farmland out there as well. You've got the shop, and Sleepy Pete's is when you move into the less nice part of town.
Cool.
Should we go to Sleepy Pete's to see if we can ask about Fang? Because that obviously knows him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much get straight to Sleepy Pete's. If you zoom in on that map, you can see there's little paths that connect those sections. And yeah, having walked around again, there's in fact from that direction, it's nice. You walk across those paths that have like nice grassy areas, and the other side of that is just not nice. It's like a defined almost sort of like difference from this side. And you walk into Sleepy Pete's, and he's just sitting there. And yet again, you're not doing much. Maybe wiping down the surface. Like, are you right?
Ah, Mr. Pete.
Mm.
Are we wondering if we could get in touch with your friend, Mr. Fang?
I mean, what gives you the impression that I have any idea how to get into contact with him?
Because
You
he
walked
does.
out of the back of your shop with a 7,000 gold sack.
So he obviously trusts you.
He didn't walk
Yes.
out. Wait, what? So
No, he
back
did-
in.
You walked out of the back
Oh,
of
I
your
see, I
shop
got it.
with 7,000 gold.
Well, yeah, he came along and said, "Give this to these people," and I did.
So he
I don't
trusts you.
think.
You
That's
told
what-
us to trust him, so you obviously know him well enough. And I am sure
Well, I know
you
the
are
stuff
type
he's
of
done
person
around the
who
city.
keeps track of people they need to keep track of, including.
Can you get us in contact with him or not?
Fang.
If you want to be in contact with him, I mean, you'd have to try and find him. I don't know who you talk to get a meeting going.
Very well. We just thought you might know. It's fine. Thank you for your help anyway.
No worries.
Good.
Hey, Tool.
Yeah, see ya.
So let's head out. I suppose head over and see what we can see down. Well, we could either go to what's it street, Truncheon Street, or go back to the crap shack.
I'm not sure I like the idea
Do we
of
really
either of
want
those
to be going
plans.
back and forth between all that stuff?
Need to find Fang.
And we know he's
Do we
there.
need? We don't need to find.
No, we don't need to. It might be useful, but
It would be.
Problem is, where are we going to get
Obvious.
this 15,000 from that we need to buy the?
We don't need to buy the slave though.
But if we don't show up with the money, we're not going to find out where any of the slaves are.
But we can tell them when they
we could
leave.
show up with a large bag.
If we simply say that
Not-
we are not interested in the slave, then they will have to take the slave back to wherever it came from.
And then perhaps a spider could stow away.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to stay in the spider form for that long. I don't think.
Or a
Hour.
very tiny Elsie.
Or
I
a very
couldn't
tiny.
stay for long either. I don't
The
think.
you turn into a thing for an hour, I believe, is your B shape.
It's an hour. It's 3 hours. Excellent.
Oh, there you
A
go.
number of hours equal to half your druid level. Yep, so 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be able to stow away and perhaps
Yes.
get a bit of information.
If we can't handle it there, I think that would be the best way to approach it.
I
Mhm.
don't know if it's helpful or not, but Aunt Elsie did teach me how to
Aunt
make
Elsie?
something on my. No, Aunt Betsy did teach me how to make some on my friend.
That could be very useful.
Yeah, if things start going sideways.
Not that it will, of course.
Yes.
Might not. You never know.
Where are you having this conversation, by the way?
Just while we're strolling around.
Yeah.
Whilst you're strolling around, I'd say like
no.
20 minutes later, Etch. In fact, actually, let's do this.
Oh.
See that being. Was on a dice.
Yeah.
Unit. There's suddenly just a book in the side of your head. It's like a little rock or something just bonk, bashes you in the side of the head. No damage. Just like a book.
Yeah. I just look at the direction it came from.
Look at the direction and a little bit up, and standing on top of one of the buildings is Bang, your friend, who gives a little wave like, hello.
That was
And
fun.
he gives a little
Cool.
come on gesture, runs up the house and down the back, as far as you can tell.
Well, friends, it would appear that Fang has found us and wants us to go and talk to him.
Don't worry
I
about
know we have to work with him, but I really hate this guy.
I'm not keen
But-
on him either.
We do owe him
Hey man, I'm not keen on you.
7,000 gold.
So, where did you see him?
Over there, he went around the back of that building.
Is
Up
there
and
like
over,
a-
I guess.
Is there an alleyway, or do
There
we
is
have
an
to go-
alleyway, yes.
I'm going to go into the alleyway.
Walk down the alleyway.
Hmm.
So the four of you walk down, and
Look for
around the
some-
back, he's standing there leaning against the wall, just sort of. Progress?
If you would like to get my attention in future, please do not use stone.
Note to self. And can't take a joke. Progress?
Yeah, well,
We have a meeting with them tomorrow at sundown.
And of course, I'll be coming with you to slaughter some people.
we don't know
We're
where
not
the
killing anyone.
No.
where the unfortunate slaves are yet.
You're not going to the slaves?
The slave
we
is-
want
the
to use
slave
them
is
to
coming
find the rest of them.
us.
Okay,
The
everyone
slave
talking
is
at the same
coming
time.
to us.
Slave is coming to you. Well,
Well,
I'll
or
give it-
rather, it is coming to Truncheon Street. Going there.
Given they're slightly more intelligent than I credit for, it does make me think that the people that you're speaking to are definitely not the ones organizing this.
Yes,
no.
that appeared to be
One's slightly cleverer behind all of this.
They did mention a route, which makes me believe that they have a regular
route.
path that they follow.
That is
Makes
indeed
sense.
Figure out
what
what that is.
It makes sense. I've never managed to get one of the meats before. I didn't even know they made them. So, well, I guess next stage is do the meat. I assume they want money for a slave. No point in you buying a slave.
15,000.
No point in you buying a slave.
No.
We just free them all anyway.
We need to get it out of the system. It's only a child.
The plan is to free them all anyway, so
But what if we don't?
We
Only
will.
a
Well, then
child.
we're
Then
then
we
we're
may as
fucked in
well
all
just-
kinds of different ways.
Yeah, then we may as well just give up now.
from what I understand, you all have a stake in this, so let's just all
still
work
don't know
our
what your
hardest,
stake
shall
is
we?
in this.
Mine? I want to get rid of a slave trade. I feel like
I have
if
a
you're
very-
struggling to understand why I'd like to get rid of a slave trade inside a city, then, well, I mean, lost. You know?
Very few people do things out of the good of their heart.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have found this is the same. It's why I do what I do around here.
I still don't trust you, and I do not like you.
It's a shame. I do trust you.
It's convenient that neither of those things have any special bearing on the mission.
Yes, unit is correct. Listen, this isn't about trust at this point, whether you like me or I like you. Granted, I do actually kind of like you guys. It's more about dealing with a problem that I want to get rid of, you want to get something out of, so working together does seem our best approach, yes?
I would agree
Okay.
with.
I agree.
Fang.
In which case, it's our next step. I would reckon you do a meetup, someone follows them back wherever they can, and then don't go in on your own, report back, we'll meet up again and...
Sounds like you've just listened to our plan and tried to take it as your own.
We were
Well, I
just
mean, if we've
discussing
come
that.
up with the same plan, that does imply to me that it's at least logical.
A good plan. Which means that they may think of it. They'll probably have precautions against it.
You said you're meeting
There is-
tomorrow evening?
Tomorrow
Yes,
evening, yes.
sundown.
Sundown.
Junction Street.
Well then,
Perhaps you'd like to be inconspicuously in the area?
I don't...
Perhaps not wearing the green suit.
That still incurs problems, I'm afraid.
Why?
Let's just say my visage under the mask is still not exactly unknown.
Can we see the visage?
There'd be no point in me wearing the mask if I didn't...
Strange.
But besides, I trust you to do your part of this. You've so far succeeded in at least giving someone money and asking for a slave, so why don't we...
Barely.
You do your thing tomorrow evening. That did not fill me with confidence. Tomorrow evening, and then let's meet up in... Where would you suggest? Where's your home base?
We're not.
I feel like we should not tell you that. If you will not show your face, we will not show our base.
Meet us outside the Pale Flask.
Pale Flask.
Where's that?
I don't usually exit city, the edge.
What about Sleepy Pete's?
I'm sure I can arrange to go there.
So we meet there in the morning after tomorrow, as in tomorrow morning, the morning after.
Yes.
Very well.
The morning after tomorrow sounds good. Hopefully, with good news. In the meantime, I'll do what research I can. Find anything, but unfortunately I don't feel like there's much I can go on at this stage. But if there's a route, and possibly a mastermind, I can ask around.
Anything you can find would be most
My
helpful.
best. I'll do my best, you do your best, and then we'll see where it leads us, hey?
Very well. I believe we have a plan.
Until then,
Unfortunately.
is there anything else you currently need? I can give you advice on the city, maybe?
I'm sure we can find out what else we need by ourselves.
Particularly want to tell you anyway. Yes, all good, wonderful, excellent. In which case, I'll be leaving, and you'll be leaving,
See
and
you.
it's time.
We'll see you in a couple of days.
Good.
Wonderful.
Very
Goodbye.
well.
Jumps up again.
Still don't
It's
like
all-
him.
It's all the same. I'd like to go back to that library.
Yes.
You are welcome to do so.
The last thing we'll do this session, you walk out of the town back into the much more lovely area that is, Clarence Market. The whole thing's the circle. But you walk around to the not at the edge, into Clarence Market, back to the library.
I'm looking for notable figures
Notable figures.
of the place, Corzia. There you go.
Corzia's notable figures would be in the ledgers. Section P1, down bottom floor.
What's your name, machine?
I do not have a
person?
name. I am Reception Bot.
Thanks,
Can I
reception.
name you?
Pardon?
I'm going to name you.
You are welcome to name me.
You are called Ralph.
You would like to call me Ralph, is this correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. I shall now respond to Ralph.
Good. Guys, it's called Ralph now.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Did you say Dave?
I wanted to see if anyone else had ever called him Dave.
There's no reaction there.
Thank you, Ralph.
Hey, reception bot.
Yes.
Can I call you Dave?
You would like to call me Dave, is this correct?
Yeah.
No!
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Yes! Yes!
You can call me
no,
Dave.
no.
I will respond to Dave now.
Okay.
Ralph,
Yes.
what's in your name?
I do not have a name. I am called Reception Bot.
Please, can we just get this done with?
No!
I'm just. My attention is just.
Oh dear. Hey, you're the ones that are RPing with a reception bot. Don't blame this on
I'm
me.
not RPing with a fucking reception bot.
When you get your first smartphone and you're messing around with Alexa.
You can do that in the comfort of your own home and not on the screen.
Anyway, section P1, I believe.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
The most difficult part of this entire campaign so far has been the fact that my character is relatively emotionless, so I can't just go fuck off.
I find the same thing, exactly.
Oh,
Oh
dear.
god.
Oh dear, oh dear.
There've been so many moments where, like, especially Elsie, but other characters have said things, and then Minim has said something in my head, and I'm going, I can't say that though.
Different campaign, different character.
Like, Auntie Betsy taught me how to make friends because you really needed help with that.
Anyway,
Notable people in Corzia.
I mean, there's a lot of names that you just do not recognize. You know, there's the plenty of lords, plenty of ladies, most of which are referred to as living in the principal. All of these, like, high up rich people.
Anyone notable from the Edge?
Anyone notable that's vanished in the last few years?
No.
Oh, she's pretty. Why don't you marry that one?
Who?
That one there.
No, telling me to marry just a
Yeah.
random lady. Okay, well, I guess none of you names stand out. Oh,
Maybe then we can get rid of you.
huh? How?
Huh? What? Sorry?
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no names that nothing. What are you looking for in particular? Because obviously I don't want to just be like, oh, there's nothing, but like it's just a list of names that you don't recognize.
Presumably the identity of Fang.
Yeah, exactly.
Evidently, I know that's what he's going for, but I'm not going to like, oh, it says under here, this man is Fang. Like,
It might do.
Just looking for
no.
well-known people, maybe people that have donated large amounts of money trying to help the Edge in any sort of way they can.
Notable donors. Of
Notable
charitable
donors.
or
It doesn't really
And
have that kind of
Samaritans.
information. The information you more have is what their titles, what properties they own in the principal, what their land they own, possibly out in the farming land or whatever, businesses. Maybe some like pictures of them, like small like painted pictures, but they're not massively clear. There's not like that kind of who's made donations to. Plus, they probably wouldn't note who's made a donation to the.
Fair enough.
Who are you looking for?
Fang?
That one could be him. Or that one.
that,
But that one looks more like him.
that is a dog.
Oh, okay.
That's a 12-year-old girl. You pointed to a dog and a 12-year-old girl.
I mean, any of them could be it, him. I know.
I applaud
I'm
your
trying to help,
enthusiasm.
that's all.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, your kind of help is appreciated,
You're welcome.
but I don't think we're going to find anything today. Let's go
Oh.
back.
Okay.
So you exit out, presumably. We'll leave you in Clarence Market because in case there's anything you want to do at the start of the next
before
session. Okay.
Just before we leave, because I don't know how much informed these bots are. I'm going to go to the reception bot, Ralph,
Hello.
Dave.
or whatever his name is, and say, do you know about temples in the city?
There are many temples in the city.
Do you know if there's a temple to Helm?
Most of the temples in the city are not specific.
Is there one to Helm?
No.
Thank you. That's fine. Just fancy going down and chat with the Helm believers.
No. As you've walked around, I'm sure you've seen a couple of much more. None of them are like huge cathedrals, but there are obviously religious spots. But they don't have any particular insignia outside of it or any particular god. It seems it's mostly just a place to pray to whoever. It's just religious ground, sacred ground.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, we shall end the session. You're still in Clarence Market in case there's anything you want to do next session. Write that down so I don't forget. That's almost written words. And yes, it's been a fun session.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Been a fun session.
I'm going to make a note of our plan.
Yeah, you should probably take some notes down of your plan. I've got stuff written down in here, obviously, what's pertinent to me.
I've made more notes so far than I made almost the entire.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you to everyone who has popped in and watched. I'm excited to then cut this up into bits and put it on YouTube. And next week, of course, we'll be back at same time. I'm assuming Purdy won't be there. Because unfortunately can't be, but we'll useless, honestly. There's obviously not a good reason or any reason.
No.
And we'll get back into the adventure. For now, thank you for watching. Thank you for all of you guys for, making my fantasy actually worth anything. And peace out to the stream. Ta-ta, goodbye, ta-ra,
Ta-ta.
and
Bye bye.
farewell.